believe we have surprises today. We'll ignore them, but you have them. Yes. That's the goodies. Sure.
What's happening this afternoon? Of course, we have a chance to bring into the times from this morning. Yourself the second swim this evening for ABNC finals for the 50s and 100s.
Yeah, even that.
24 swimmers will progress through to finals. In the 200s and beyond.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Scottish National Short Course Championships. This is session 2. With me, I'm Robert Taylor, is John Munsey. Thanks for joining us again for the afternoon.
Afternoon, Robert. Good afternoon, everybody.
So we'll get underway very shortly. Similar to this morning, same type of events with the opportunity for really fast swimmers maybe squeezing into a B final, John, maybe even a C final in the shorter distances.
Yeah, that's right, Robert. We've got C finals in the 50s and the 100s, B finals in the 200s, A and B in the 200s, and then at the end of the session we've got some 800s, which is heat declared winner. The fastest heats of both the men and women's 800 is tonight, kicking off our final session, and it'll be up to the swimmers to try and set the fastest time this afternoon for them to beat. So yeah, a great afternoon and some great swimming this morning, and chance for mainly younger swimmers this afternoon to see what they can do, and hopefully we'll see a few of them make their way into some of the finals tonight.
Indeed, this is the opportunity for a lot of sort of 14, 15, 16-year-olds, a lot of swimmers that don't often get the chance to compete at this level. So gives them an opportunity to see what they can do. And you always get one or two surprises, one or two swim exceptionally fast and maybe squeeze into a B final.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, Robert, but this is almost the end of the short course season already, you know. We've got the team championships next weekend, of course. But in terms of individual events, this is kind of the showcase, the highlight of the short course season. The long course season starting after Christmas and New Year in January. So for many swimmers, it'll be their last chance to improve on what's been a sort of an autumn winter of hard work, and see if they can squeeze out some more personal best. And as I say, the chance to shine for some of our younger swimmers this afternoon.
Yeah, very much so. This time of the year, we've not normally had a lot of short course events across Scotland, but this year still pretty decimated. A lot of clubs are finding it hard to provide the usual meets they've had in the past, partly because we don't have the amount of technical officials as well. We've missed that for 2 years. These officials that would have been around getting trained up have either left the sport or are at the bottom end, and we're having to rebuild as we're having to do probably across the whole of Scotland and the rest of the home nations, having missed those 2 years of critical training. Where a lot of 13, 14-year-olds have sort of almost dropped out of the sport now that 15, 16. But it gives a lot of these youngsters a chance to show what they can do.
Yeah, there's a number of factors at play, Robert, as well, isn't there? There's the pool hire costs have gone up. You've got a variety of pool closures and the like, and the whole sport's having to rebuild, and it's a great opportunity, I think, for our younger swimmers. A lot of the Scottish team swimmers retired after the Commonwealth Games, and there's a chance for younger swimmers to come through over the next 2, 3, 4 years and fill those gaps and compete for Scotland and other home nation countries going forward.
Yeah, in your own district, Dundee, the pool in Dundee, of course, is closed, and I know your district have had to have championships at places like Forth and Montrose and Arbroath, which is a bit different, but and challenging as well. And they've even gone up and had a joint session with the North District.
That's right. Believe it or not, though, it is easier in the short course season. You know, when it comes to long course, unfortunately Dundee was the only pool in the Midland District that was capable of holding long course events, and there's no sign that the Dundee pool is going to open anytime shortly, from what I hear, from what I understand. And again, I think you'll see more of our events being shared events within the North District up in Aberdeen, particularly for the long course championships, because of course long course swimming is much different to short course swimming.
Indeed. As we were mentioning in the commentary, short course, if you're very good at turns and you can maximise those 15 metres and get a good 10 metres plus, you only really have to swim about 10 metres for every 25. So much different in the long course. You've got to really be a different type of, well, not a different type of swimmer. You've got to adapt it and have the ability to do that without having the amount of turns you have at short course.
And I think in many respects that's a good thing for short course. Skills become more important. You know, speed off the blocks, the ability to get in and out of turns quickly, that underwater work, as you say. You know, if you watch the backstroke events this morning, some of the swimmers were getting 10, 12 metres off the walls, which means they've only got half the distance to swim. So it's no surprise that we see significant faster times during the short course season than we do in the long course season. But it does bring skills into play, and it's great to see.
Yeah. And because of they're trying to maximise the speed, sometimes you may be inclined to get more disqualifications on a short course than you do in a long course. Just they want to get that half a second or tenth of a second can make the difference between a gold and a silver.
Yeah, although we didn't have too many this morning, thank goodness, and let's hope that we don't have too many this afternoon either.
So we get underway with boys first. It's boys and girls of both events. 400 individual medley starts us off. 3 heats, and those are the swimmers on the board. Tom Armitage from the Highland Swim team goes in lane 1. Guy Pelosi, City Glasgow in 2. Ewan Weir, Dundee City Aquatics in 3. Peter McGrowther from Durham City in 4, in 5 rather. 6, Panis Angelicus from Mount Kelly, and in 7, Adam Scott from City of Glasgow. So just about ready to get underway, John.
Yeah, 3 heats in this event, Robert. Only an A and a B final tonight, and it's looking at the entry times. It's going to be tough for the swimmers to get anywhere near that. They would need to swim sort of 4:27, which was the slowest into the B final tonight. So, having said that, what we will be hoping for is plenty of personal bests. You know, all the entry times this afternoon are under 5 minutes. Let's see how many we can get in the 4:40s, and maybe even lower, because for some of these swimmers it may be the first time they've done this event for a little bit. So let's keep an eye on entry times and see how many of the boys and girls later on in event 1, 2, 2 can dip below that and swim nice personal bests.
Indeed, that's good point, John. It's really very much about trying to improve your time and just doing what your coach asks you to do. It's sometimes it's not necessarily about the time. It's what you actually do in the pool that the coach is maybe looking for. Maybe certain parts of the IM they're looking for a quick section, or just building it gradually throughout. So off we go. So it's butterfly, 4 lengths, then we go on to backstroke. Breaststroke, things can certainly change, and finish off with 3. So fairly level start, 4 of the lads almost together. Lane 1 over the far side, lane 2 rather. Tom Armitage from the Highland Swim team going out well in 7. I'll get my lane 6 correct. We have only 6 swimmers. It's Panis Angelicus in lane 6. He's going a little bit stronger than the rest. 2 middle lanes also well there. Ewan Weir in 4, Peter McGrowther in 5. Ewan now coming through, probably going to turn in 2nd. As Panis takes it out in 1:05 4:48.
So Panos leading the way, lane 6, Ewan Weir DCA second place in lane 4, closely followed by Peter McGrother, Durham City swimmer in lane 5. These three just a little bit ahead of in lane 3, Guy Pelosi, Tom Armitage in 2, Adam Scott in 7. Backstroke looking like a strong discipline for Ewan Weir. Lane 4, he's now starting to move into the lead, just ahead of Panos in lane 6. I think Ewan is going to turn first, and he does. 1:43.04. Second place for Panos, third place for Peter in lane 5. Fourth place in lane 2 for Tom Armitage. But it's a Dundee City aquatic swimmer, Ewan Weir. He's the youngest swimmer in this heat, Youth Academy swimmer. First in the national age groups in this event, so a rich pedigree and looking very strong on the backstroke. Coached out of Dundee by David Haig. Coming through strongly in lane 2, Tom Armitage to start to press, Panos in lane 6. Highland swimmer Tom all the way down from the Highlands, but it's still Ewan touching first, 2:19.46 at the halfway point. Second place for Panos, but just 0.2 behind is Tom as they move on to the breaststroke. Also starting to come through now is the Mount Kelly, is the Durham City swimmer as well. Peter McGrother in lane 5. So it's Ewan Weir from Peter McGrother. Third place for Tom Armitage in 2. Ahead of Panos Panalakis in lane 6. Guy Pelosi and Adam Scott. The middle two lanes are starting to pull away a little bit. Ewan Weir, 3 minutes and 0.13. But Peter closing the gap, about a second and a half faster than Ewan on that 50. He's about a second and a half behind, so we should see the swimmers be about neck and neck on those pacings when we come to the last leg, the freestyle. So I think we could have a race on here. Close for third, Tom Armitage in 2, Panos Angelakis in 6. But it's the Dundee City aquatic swimmer being chased down by the Durham City swimmer, Peter McGrother in lane 5. Ewan's holding him off just now. It looks like he's going to take about a half a body length lead into the last 100. We've got a good race here. Ewan Weir touches first, just ahead of Peter McGrother.
Ewan Weir did very well, John, to hang in there, and is now just beginning to stretch. The Dundee lad looks as though he has this now under control. He's got a good 4 or 5 clear now and getting the legs into action. Getting plenty pull out the arm pull there. And just getting that leg action going a little bit stronger now in the final 50. Already 3 seconds clear after that first 50 of freestyle, and opened up around 8 metres now. It's got an entry time of 4:57.40. As we were saying, John, all about trying to get a 4:40 time, and he's certainly done that. That's a super swim, 4:47.24. Improves by over 10 seconds. Peter McGrother also improves by about 5 seconds, 4:52.80. Tom Armitage just a smidgen inside his entry time, also under 5 minutes, 4:58.82. And Panos virtually on his time. So nice to see a good 10-second improvement from the youngest swimmer in that field, Ewan Weir.
Yeah, Youth Academy swimmer, certainly one for the future. So moving on to Heat 2, Lane 1, Jacob Light from Morpeth. Lane 2, Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Greg Hall, University of Aberdeen Performance Squad. Lane 4, Matthew Scott from Newcastle. Lane 5, Charlie Ward, Borough of Scotland. Lane 6, Ho Ho She from City of Glasgow. Lane 7, James Broddy from Geary. And Lane 8, Ewan Jones, West Lothian. Fastest entry time, Matthew Scott from Newcastle, 4:54.27. A couple of young swimmers here. Lane 6 swimmer, City of Sheffield's Hi Hi She, Matthew Scott, both 13 this year. They're very closely matched down this first 50. Entry times would suggest that, but very close down the first 50, possibly just lane 2, Max Pelosi, 30.27. He turns first, Jacob Light in second place. Max's brother Guy swam in the previous heat. We're very close to those far side at the minute, lanes 1 and 2, also going well in lane 4, Matthew Scott. But Jacob Light in 1, Max Pelosi in 2, Matthew Scott in 4 as you 1, 2, 3 at the minute, but feel very closely matched. The far side of the pool have it. 1, 2 and 4, just possibly lane 4, Matthew Scott's going to touch first. No he doesn't, it is Jacob, 1:05.09.
Very slimmer split to the previous heat. 3 lads virtually on that time, although on the far side. Jacob Light still with a half a metre advantage. So these swimmers getting about maybe 7 metres or so off the wall. It's the far side still in lane 1, Jacob Light from Morpeth. If you were with us this morning, 2 or 3 Morpeth swimmers swam exceptionally well. One of them got into maybe a final, and one was the first reserve for a final in a swim-off that we had. But Jacob Light's going nicely, John, 1:40.77. He's got 2.5 advantage at the first 50 of backstroke. He's extended that significantly. Greg Hall a little bit further back in 3rd place. Let's see what the gap is now at the halfway mark. 2:15.61, 2:18.60. Well, it's 3 seconds.
Well inside their entry times again in this heat.
Things can change drastically on the breaststroke section. A little bit of maybe inroads perhaps from Matthew, but there's not that much of a gap. It's been cut back if anything. Jacob again just getting the bit going again. Matthew Scott only 13 though. 2:56.40, 3:00.69. Well, he's increased that lead by another second or so. Max Pelosi going best of the rest on the breaststroke. He's only in 5th place, and this looks almost cut and dried for the Morpeth swimmer. Gone well clear now, John. I think he's 5 or 6 metres clear. He'll have maybe 5-6 seconds advantage with the freestyle to come. Let's keep an eye on the time. Some 3:40, 3:38.01. So another swimmer that should be well within the 4:50 mark.
Yes, 4 seconds faster than the previous heat at the same time. So we're looking in the low 4:40s here. I get an entry time of 4:56. So it's a massive PB for Jacob if he can keep this going. Second place is Matthew Scott, still in lane 4. Greg Hall in lane 3 in 3rd place. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near our leader. First 2 places look fairly well established. First 3 places. Jacob in first in lane 1. Red Cap, Morpeth. Matthew in lane 4. Newcastle. Greg in lane 3. University of Aberdeen Performance Squad. 4:12.89. And that gap just about maintained between the first 2, just 0.04 between them down that 50. But Jacob's still looking very strong with a big lead. The race is on for second. I think Matthew's still got enough to hold off Greg. But Greg is trying a good turn from him, and he's got Matthew in his sights. But this is all about Jacob Light, Morpeth swimmer, and he's going to touch in the time of 4:45.40. Massive PB. Race is on for second, but it is going to be Matthew Scott holding off. 4:51.65 for him. Greg Hall in third, 4:52.80, ahead of the City of Sheffield swimmer How She, who's fourth in lane 6. But our winner Jacob Light, 4:45.40, nearly 12 seconds inside his entry time. Fantastic swim from Jacob. There's the 1, 2, 3 confirmed on the screen.
So on to the third and final heat. The double dam from Drum City in 1. 2, Samuel Chittleborough, University of Aberdeen Performance. 3, Kel Mitchell, Geary. 4, Ryan Broadley from the Broch. 5, Jacob Wood, Elgin. 6, Gregor Ross, City Glasgow. 7, Drew McGregor, Mount Kelly. And 8, Cameron Dorn from City of Glasgow. All these lads are in the low 450s, so let's see if a few of them can get sub 445. Strong start, Drew McGregor, Mount Kelly swimmer. 2 lads that are 19, other one Samuel Chittleborough over in lane 2. Youngest swimmer in lane 6, Gregor Ross from City of Glasgow. Gary's Kel Mitchell also well there in lane 3 in second place. Strong start from Drew McGregor, Kel Mitchell, and looks like Ryan Broadley are going to turn 1, 2, 3. So a strong start, 1:02.81, a couple of seconds faster than the previous heat for Drew McGregor.
We should put all these boys, or certainly the leaders, on for time in the mid to low 440s at this stage. Lane 7, Drew McGregor. Mount Kelly swimmer. Second place, Kyle Mitchell. Geary swimmer in lane 3. These two leading the way, close for third. These two have a little bit of a gap. Drew turns first, 1:39.76. But slowed down a little bit, just a second faster now. Kyle in second place. Swimmer starting to bunch up behind. Starting to come through in lane 5, Jacob Wood in third place. In lane 4, in lane 2. So joint third, Ryan Broadley and Jacob Wood, 4 and 5. It's Drew McGregor, but I think he might have been passed on this 50 by Kyle Mitchell. And Kyle touches first, 2:15.73 for Kyle. It's about the same pace as the previous heat. Second place for Drew McGregor in 7, ahead of Jacob Wood in 5. Fourth place for Samuel Chittleborough in lane 2. But a good race on here between 7 of the swimmers are all in touch. Back in the front, Drew McGregor's going back in touch, so having lost his lead on the backstroke, Drew McGregor proving to be a very competent breaststroke swimmer, and he's now back in the lead again. He's moved back ahead of Kyle, and he's starting to pull away a little bit, looking very strong on the breaststroke, 2:55.41. So about a second faster than the previous heat. Second place for Kyle Mitchell, third place for Gregor Ross in lane 6 coming through. Jacob Wood in lane 5 dropping back a little bit. 2 fastest breaststrokers lanes 6 and 7, so imagine Drew was going to extend his lead here and Gregor's going to come through into second place, and that's proving to be the case. Third place for Kyle Mitchell, but this is all about at the minute Mount Kelly's Drew McGregor. His entry time 4:52.48. Still on course for a time of about 4:43, 4:44, depending on the last 100, but Drew looking very strong. And at 300 mark, he touches in a time of 3:35.38. Second place in lane 6 for Gregor Ross. Kyle Mitchell in third in lane 3. Samuel Chittleborough fourth in lane 2. But Drew McGregor got quite a nice lead. Working hard is Gregor Ross in second place. Coming back in third, Kyle Mitchell. Samuel Chittleborough in fourth in lane 2. So a nice battle going on for third and fourth. Not sure the first 2 places are going to change. Excuse me. Drew comes up to the last turn in a time of 4:11.51. So still in touch for about a 4:43, 4:44. Second place for Gregor Ross. Third place now in lane 2 is Samuel Chittleborough on the charge. Kyle Mitchell going with him now, stroke for stroke. They might put a bit of pressure on Gregor Ross down that last 50, but I think he's probably got enough to hold on. They turn together, Samuel and Kyle, lanes 2 and 3, but this is all about Mount Kelly's Drew McGregor. He's going to win this heat. He's going to be well inside his entry time of 4:52. He touches first, 4:45.05. Second place will be Gregor Ross, ahead of Kyle Mitchell in third, Samuel Chittleborough in fourth. 4:45.05. So the fastest time of the afternoon for Drew. Won't be fast enough, I'm afraid, to see him again tonight. But a lovely personal best, about 7 and a bit seconds inside his entry time. Nice personal best for Gregor Ross. Kyle Mitchell, Samuel Chittleborough, all inside their entry times as the personal best as well.
That concludes the men's 400. Just 2 heats for the girls. Our first heat has 7. Lily Smith from Ulverston. 2 Sydney Boyd from Midlothian. 3 Cassie Wiper, City of Glasgow. 4 is Honey Rose Crocock from the city of Sheffield. 5 Missy Hoothwaite, Mount Kelly. 6 Alicia Goodbrand from Ethan. And in 7 Leila Weatherspoon, Heart of Midlothian. So the times in this one in the sort of low to mid 5:20s. And on the butterfly section, it's a good brand perhaps, and Leila Weatherspoon. Leila better out the turn. Just has a fractional advantage. You can see that Heart of Midlothian cap there from Leila. And it's actually in 6. But out the turn you'll probably find Leila maximises the turn that little bit better. That's what we were talking about earlier, maximising the turns on short course. Work on those and you can gain quite a bit. Missy Hoothwaite from Mount Kelly going into the lead. Leila Weatherspoon maximising those turns though. Those 3 girls just have the advantage on the butterfly section. Lily Smith over on the far side, best of the others. So lanes 5 and 6 turning very close to one another. 109.61, 110.11.
Maisie Hoothwaite setting the pace down the first 100. The Mount Kelly swimmer ahead of Ithon's Alicia Goodbrand in second. Leila Weatherspoon, Heart of Midlothian in third. Fourth place on the far side of the pool, Ulverston's Lily Smith. She's starting to come through a little bit on the backstroke now, but it's still lane 5, Maisie Hoothwaite. Mount Kelly with a strong squad of swimmers up for this weekend, great to see, well over 50 swimmers. Second place in lane 6 for Alicia Goodbrand from Ithon. Close for third now between Leila Weatherspoon in 7, Lily Smith in 1. You see Maisie turn there, 1:49.81 for her. Second place for Alicia, third place for Leila, fourth place for Lily. Maisie was the fastest on that 50 metre backstroke, so starting to pull away a little bit. Good race on for 5th and 6th, might be better than that soon between Sydney Boyd, Midlothian in 2, Cassie Wiper, City of Glasgow in 3, starting to come through stronger. But it's still Mount Kelly's Maisie Hoothwaite leading the way from Alicia Goodbrand. Good race on now for third. Cassie Wiper started to make good progress in lane 3. Lily Smith in 1, Leila Weatherspoon in 7. 2:31.42 at the halfway mark. As they turn onto the breaststroke leg. Let's see what this brings. Maisie looking very strong out front. Second place still for Alicia, but starting to come through now into a clear third is Lily Smith, lane 1, Ulverston swimmer. Cassie Wiper, lane 3, City of Glasgow starting to come through as well. Leila just dropping back a little bit in lane 7 at the minute. At lane 5, Maisie Hoothwaite, lane 6 Alicia, lane 3 Cassie, lane 1 Lily, neck and neck for second. But it's going to be Alicia that touches first. 3:15.81. Joint second, Cassie Wiper and Alicia Goodbrand. Cassie the fastest leg of first 50 breaststroke, 44.52. So you would expect her possibly to be a clear second after this leg. But still up front, it's Alicia Goodbrand leading the way. Sorry, it's still Maisie Hoothwaite leading the way in lane 5. Cassie Wiper into a clear second now. City of Glasgow swimmer in lane 3. Third place for Alicia Goodbrand of Ithon. Lily Smith going well in lane 1, pushing her for that as well. But Cassie Wiper really starting to put the pedal down this second leg of breaststroke, and at the turn there's going to be everything to play for. It's just going to be Macy Huthwaite just ahead of Cassie Wiper. 4:03.27. Cassie turns just in the lead.
That's what a good breaststroke has, John. Changed the complexity of the race completely here. Barely 200s was the gap. It's increased by probably about a body length, and this looks pretty good for Cassie now. That breaststroke has really nailed this race for her. She's gone over 2 seconds clear. So Cassie Wiper, 7th at West Districts recently and at national age groups. Well clear now, summer meet champion, and entry time that she has is 5:23.44. The 15-year-old going to be a little bit inside that, maybe 6 or 7 seconds. 5:15.88. Well, that's over a 7-second improvement for the City of Glasgow swimmer. Second place was Layla Witherspoon, who finished extremely strongly. Macy Huthwaite just touched out. Layla Witherspoon improving her time by around 5 seconds. A Hart swimmer, 14-year-old. And third place, Macy Huthwaite, 5:20.12. That result just to be confirmed. Disqualification in lane 1 for technical infraction. Another good race, John.
Yeah, good swim from Cassie Wiper. Daddy Ian will be very proud watching that. 5:15.88 for her, a massive personal best. Second place for Layla Witherspoon, third place for Macy Huthwaite. Moving on to Heat 2, lane 1, Isabel Fox, Gateshead and Wickham. Lane 2, Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Hannah Edmiston, City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Alice Cumming, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, India Marshall, East Lothian. Lane 6, Nadine Wilson, Borough of Stockton. Lane 7, Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire. And Lane 8, Lucy Nimmo from Bells Hill. These swimmers for Heat 2 of the women's 400 metre individual medley. Fastest time this afternoon, 5:15.88 from Cassie Wiper in the previous heat. So we'll see if they can get close and exceed that. Fastest time into this, City of Glasgow's Alice Cumming. She's setting the pace down the first 50. Also going well in lane 6, Nadine Wilson. Two youngsters, or two of the younger swimmers in this. Evie Mackey only 13 in lane 7, but Nadine and Alice both only 14, setting the pace. Nadine touching first, 31.88, so about a second faster than the previous heat. Second place for Alice Cumming, 32.22. Third place for Evie Mackey, 32.74. So it is the younger swimmers leading this one out. Starting to come through in lane 4, Alice Cumming behind Nadine in lane 6. Lane 2, Caris Mooney, working hard, possibly just in third place. That's going well in lane 7, Evie Mackey. But it's going to be Nadine Wilson touches first, 1:09.53, just about identical to the previous heat.
Just a good strong start in lane number 6. Alice Cumming rather. In lane 4, City Glasgow swimmer in second place. Third, Caris Mooney. So still Nadine Wilson, but a Stockton swimmer, going very nicely indeed. So she's got just over a second advantage over Alice Cumming. Caris Mooney, Evie Mackey just dropping back a little bit. Isabel Fox, those two vying for 4th and 5th. Well, Nadine Wilson will have to have a fairly useful breaststroke as Alice Cumming It's good strength in breaststroke, so she might pull that advantage back. Caris Mooney also will get hopefully into the mix here as we move on to the breaststroke section. 2:29.11, 2:30.46 and 49, Alice and Caris respectively, so just over a second to make up on the leader. Evie Mackey might make a move as well, the youngster from South Lanarkshire. She's national age group champion at 13, is the youngest in the field. So out the turn, those first three swimmers beginning to bunch up here. Caris Mooney, Alice Cumming, two City Glasgow swimmers I think have just taken it up. Isabel Fox on the far side going well. Evie Mackey still making a bit of ground as well in fourth place. It's Caris Mooney and Alice Cumming, a little between the two, half a second. Evie Mackey, the youngster from South Lanarkshire, really getting to grips with this. She's probably moved into third and beginning to motor. Can she pull anything out in the final 25 of breast to close on the two City Glasgow swimmers? 15-year-old Caris Mooney, 14-year-old Alice Cumming, 13-year-old Evie Mackey. The race might be between those three now. It's very good breaststroke here, John, for Caris Mooney. Just managing to increase that gap. Evie Mackey's also a super breaststroke. She's just behind both Alice and Caris onto freestyle.
Yeah, about 3 seconds faster than the previous heat, so well on course to improve personal best. Time's about 5:11, 5:12. If we can finish strongly, Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow, leading the way. Second place, teammate Alice Cumming. Third place for South Lanarkshire's Evie Mackey. And at the minute, it looks like it's going to be between these three swimmers. Caris looking very strong, coming down the first 50 of the freestyle. She turns first, 4:36.75. Second place for Alice Cumming, third place for Evie Mackey, but Caris increasing her lead. Looking very strong now, 36.34, so she swam the fastest freestyle first 50. Second place now looking between Alice and Evie down this last 25, but it doesn't look like they're going to get to Caris. Looks like it's going to be another strong IM performance from a City of Glasgow swimmer. Looks like they're going to win both heats this afternoon. The race is on for second. This is about Caris Mooney though. She touches first, 5:12.65, goes to second. Evie Mackey gets a touch, 5:15.61. Alice Cumming third, 5:15.88, ahead of Isabel Fox in lane one in fourth. But Caris Mooney, 5:12.65, fastest time of this afternoon for her.
Well, a cracking race for those three girls. Caris Mooney, Evie Mackey finishing extremely strongly. Alice Cumming just tipped for third place, but great PBs from them.
Next event in the pool, men's 100 metre freestyle. We've got eight heats this afternoon. We've got three finals tonight. We've got an A final, a B final and a C final. So the top 24 swimmers from the combined sessions of this morning, this afternoon. Top 24 fastest times will come forward to tonight. 24th fastest time in the minute is 50.72. So let's see if any of our swimmers can get close to or under that. Our first heat lane 1, we've got Finlay Nelson, Dumfries. Lane 2, Dylan Cashmore, South Ayrshire. Lane 3, Marcus Haig, Mount Kelly. Lane 4, James Gordon, Perth City. Lane 5, Jack Robinson from Reed School. Lane 6, Reuben Kelly from Dumfries. Lane 7, Kane Buchanan, Dundee City Aquatics. And Lane 8, Dominic McCarthy, University of Stirling. Lane 3, Marcus Haig, Mount Kelly going well. Also going well in lane 4, James Gordon, Perth City. They're going to touch first and second, I think. 25.64 for Marcus. 25.67 for James. Also going well in lane 2, Dylan Cashmore. Looks like it's the far side of the pool at the minute that has it. James Gordon, Perth City. 54.2 is his entry time. Second place in lane 3, Marcus Haig, Mount Kelly. But it's the red cap, Perth City's James Gordon, who's going to win this first heat. He's going to be inside his entry time, I think, as well. 53.46, so a nice way to start the afternoon, a nice personal best for James. Second place for Marcus Haig, third place for Dylan Cashmore, 53.46. So nearly 3/4 of a second off his entry time for James. Second place is Mount Kelly's Marcus Haig.
Second heat. Luke Purchase, University of Aberdeen Performance. Luke Tunstall. Mount Kelly, 3 Conor Myers, Taunton Dean, 4 Jake Holmes, City Glasgow, 5 Adam Ritchie, University of Stirling, 6 Harry Sharp, Wanderbath, 7 Jackie Chan, Mount Kelly, and 8 Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow. Low 54 seconds here. Strong start, no swimmer in 1. In lane 2, Luke Tunstall. And he's really off very strongly indeed, about half a metre clear. Lane 5, Adam Ritchie. And in lane 3, Conor Myers up there. Lane 7 trying to get into the mix as well, Jackie Chan. It's Luke Tunstall, 24.46. That's the second faster than the previous heat. And he's looks as though he has this one under control at the moment. Lane 5 and 7 still turning second and third, Adam Ritchie. Jackie Chan. Conor Myers up there in 3. No doubt winner is going to be Luke Tunstall. Second in lane 5, and in lane 3, Adam Ritchie and Conor Myers. In fact, Jackie Chan just got the touch by 100th from Conor Myers for that third place. Super time there for Luke Tunstall, 51.96, John.
Yeah, really quick under the 52-second mark. We've still got 6 heats to go, so maybe one or two of those swimmers in the C final provisionally might be under a bit of pressure. Moving on to heat 3, lane 1, we have Jack Ashurst from Morpeth in lane 1. Cameron Creaney, University of Stirling in 2. Andrew Sawkins, Borough of Newham in 3. Callum Rose, Edinburgh University in 4. Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire in 5. Ollie O'Connor, Mount Kelly in 6. Teammate lane 7, Alex Donofrio in 7. And lane 8, Jack Gibson, University of Aberdeen Performance Squad. Fastest entry time, Callum Rose, Edinburgh University. And he started off quick in lane 4. Looks in good form, he touches first. Also going well in lane 7, Alex Donofrio from Mount Kelly. And it's lanes 4 and 7 leading the way at the minute. Going well in 3, Andrew Sawkins, Borough of Newham. Who's going to touch first? It looks like it's going to be Alex, 24.92. So about half a second slower than the previous heat. Second place for Callum, third place for Andrew. But Callum coming back strongly down this third 25. Third place still in lane 3 for Andrew Sawkins, but up front it now looks like it's going to be Callum Rose, Edinburgh University swimmer. Very close between him and Alex Donofrio from Mount Kelly in 7, but I think Callum's done enough to win this one. He's going to get the touch, 52.32 for Callum. Second place for Alex Donofrio, third place for Andrew Sawkins, 52.32, so nice personal best for Callum, second and a half inside his entry time.
Nice to see Andrew Sawkins still swimming, the old Heart swimmer from years ago, still playing his trade in the pool and getting a personal best as well, John.
Yep, never too old.
Heat number 4, Matthew Brown, University of Aberdeen Performance. 2, Cyril Gulen, Wanderbass. 3, Zach Slater, East Lothian Swim Team. 4, Greer van der Meulen, Stirling Swim. 5, Toby Parker, Borough of Stockton. 6, Mika van Blerk, Wanderbass. 7, Carrick Thompson from the Isle of Man. And 8, Edward Bell from Seagulls. Pretty level start. The Isle of Man swimmer perhaps, Carrick Thompson, just with a slight advantage off the first 25. And he's maximised that good turn, and in lane 5, Toby Parker looks as though he's maybe going to be second at the turn, lane 3 and third. Carrick Thompson, 24.72. Similar to that previous heat, but not the fastest so far. Off the final turn, this looks good for Carrick. As this one pretty well wrapped up. It's all about second place. Second at the moment, Tony Parker in 5. Edward Bell coming through strongly in 8. And in lane 2, Cyril Gulen with a late charge. Cyril Gulen might just get second. Carrick Thompson, 52.64. Cyril Gulen did get second, 52.88, and Toby Parker, 53.24. They left it late, so they're going to get into the mix there. 52.62. Good second, almost inside that entry time for Carrick there, John.
Yeah, good swim from the Isle of Man swimmer. Moving on to heat number 5, lane 1, Nathan Campbell, Sterling swim. Lane 2, William Strachan, Glasgow University. Lane 3, Vincent Dwyer, Edinburgh University. Lane 4, Ryan Ferguson, Edinburgh University. Lane 5, Sonny Trigg, Dartmoor Darts. Lane 6, Benjamin Thorpe, Newcastle. Lane 7, Aidan Kay, City of Glasgow. And Lane 8, Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen Performance Squad. No swimmer in lane 3. Fastest entry time, Ryan Ferguson, 53.2. It's probably the swimmer in lane 8, Kieran Lennox from Aberdeen, leading this one out. Going well in lane 7, Aidan Kay. Lane 5, Sonny Trigg. Lane 4, Ryan Ferguson. Very tight. It's lane 2, William Strachan, 25.06. In first place, second place, Aidan Kay in 7th, third place, Ryan Ferguson 4, Sonny Trigg in 5. Come up to the last turn, lane 2, William Strachan, lane 7, Aidan Kay. Coming through in lane 4, Ryan Ferguson. It's going to be a close finish this one, maybe just lane 7, Aidan Kay. On the far side, lane 2, William Strachan. He's going to get the touch, and he does, 52.34. So good finish by William. Takes that heat. Second place for Aidan Kay, third place for Ryan Ferguson.
Heat 6, Jack Allen, Loughborough University. 2, Magnus Kelly, Mount Kelly. 3, Max Upton, Loughborough University. 4, Finn Bremner, Warner Baths. 5, Swillick Talib, University of Stirling. 6, Maxwell George, Hatfield. 7, William Mitchell, Loughborough University. And 8, Ben Kelly from Warner Baths. Times in the high 52s, low 53s. Strong start in lane 5. Also well there in lane 3 is Max Upton. The best turn is lane 6, Maxwell George from Hatfield. Max Hatfield at the halfway mark, 24.91. It's fairly similar to what we've seen in some of the other heats, a little bit slower, a little bit faster than we've had. Very tight on the far side in lane 1. Jack Allen trying to get into the mix, but still it's lane 6, Maxwell George with the advantage. Maxwell George, Swallow Talib coming through very strongly over the far side. It's lane 1 that's going to take this. Jack Allen, 52.01. Max Upton, 52.33. Dead heats with Swallow Talib for second. Maxwell George just missing out a place there.
Heat number 7, lane 1, Lucas Brown from Elgin. Lane 2, Finley Club. Lane 3, Dean Fern, both Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 4, Callum Peebles, East Lothian. Lane 5, Louis Lawler, City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Lewis Hammond, City of Glasgow. Lane 7, Tom Robertson, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 8, Josh Denham from Newcastle. Fastest entry times, lanes 4 and 5. Callum and Louis, 52 seconds. Louis starts very strongly. Para swimmer Louis Lawler, City of Glasgow. Going well in lane 8, Josh Denham from Newcastle. Also going well in lane 3, Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphin. Youngster, it's Dean possibly leading this one out in 3 from Louis in 5, 24.72 for Dean. 24.92 for Louis, third place lane 8, Josh Denham. In lane 3, Dean Fern. Coming through in lane 2, Finley Club, lane 8, Josh Denham, but this is very close with 25 metres to go. Possibly just now lane 8 and lane 2, Josh Denham in 8, Finley Club in 2. Also finishing well in 6, Lewis Hammond on the touch. Who's it going to be? Lane 2, Finley Club, 52.17 for Finley. Second place, Josh Denham. 52.22. Third place Lewis Hammond, 52.25.
Final heat. Evan Davison, Perth City in 1. 2, Robbie Jones, Loughborough University. 3, Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Warner Baths. 4, Ashley Donaldson, Loughborough University. 5, Liam McLaughlin, Edinburgh University. 6, Jamie Allison, University of Aberdeen Performance. 7 is Ian Rose from Bath University. And 8, Tom Exel from Loughborough University. Times in this one, the mid to high 5:51s. 50.72 was it, John?
Yeah, 50.72, Robert, to get into the final, B final, C final, sorry.
Yeah, 2 strong starts, lane 8 especially going well. Tom Exel and Robbie Jones in 2. Robbie Jones up there, Evan Davison not far behind, 23.88. Well, they've got half a chance here, John.
Fastest split we've seen so far this afternoon.
Robbie Jones, I think if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Robbie. Lane 2, just keep your eye on a very good turn from Robbie. Still has that good advantage over Tom Exel. Well, can he get there? 40, 49, 50. He does. 50, 17.
2 of them got in as well.
And Tom Exel, 50, 41. And we were 50.72, so by my reckoning that means that we potentially have 2 guys joint 26th, so I don't know if at some point they might want to have a swim off for that second reserve place, which technically they should have, but well done to Robbie Jones. Gets another swim tonight.
We'll leave it on to the referees.
Yeah. So that's subject to confirmation. But there you see Orla McInnes from Hearts getting ready to come poolside. That's a turnbull from Stirling Swim with her. Phoebe Arbuckle, that's the girls in the second heat, but let's say the first heat we're talking about now, John.
Yeah, lane 1 we've got Lucy Oliver from Darlington. Lane 2, Madison Cool from Bucky. Lane 3, Rebecca Shulman from University of Stirling. Lane 4, Emily Headley from Newcastle. Lane 5, Skylar Freedom, Mount Kelly. Lane 6, Zoe Crawford from First. Lane 7, Tony Shaw, University of Stirling. Lane 8, Isla Gilmurray, Dundee City Aquatics. So following the same principle, 24th fastest time from this morning is 57.68. So we'll see if any of the swimmers can get close to that this afternoon. First heat of 6. Very closely matched swimmers in 3, 4, 5 and 6 at the minute. And who's going to turn first? Rebecca Shulman, 28.88 in first place. Second place Skylar Freedom, 28.9. Third place Emily Headley, 29.03. So very close between the lanes 2, 3 and 4. In 2 now, in 3 now, Rebecca Shulman, 4 Emily Headley. They're leading the way. Third place in lane 5 for Skylar Freedom. It could be lane Emily Headley in 4 coming through to take this, I think. And she's going to take the touch, 59.57. So she's breaking that magic minute. It's a nice swim for Emily. Rebecca Shulman also under the minute mark in second place, 59.82. Third place for Skylar Freedom, 1:00.57.
On to heat number 2. Arabella Ward from Mount Kelly. 2, Freya Beaton, City Glasgow. 3, Grace Adu from Newcastle. 4, Free Rogers, University of Aberdeen Performance. 5, Abby Davis, East Lothian Swim Team. 6, Phoebe Arbuckle, Warner Baths. 7, Melissa Turnbull, Stirling Swim. And 8, Orla McInnes from Heart of Midlothian. Free Rogers, 59.90. Swam very well at the Parameet a couple of weeks ago at Till Cross. Ex-Borough of Stockton swimmer, now up at Aberdeen studying. It might just be Grace Duo in lane 3 with the advantage, but over on the far side, Arabella Ward also going very nicely. Far side, it's lane 1, 3 and 7. Arabella Ward 28.21. Well, that should be sub A minute for the first two, maybe even Melissa Turnbull in 7 can get under the magic minute. So the far side have it. Annabelle Ward 1:00:16, Grace Dew for a 59.98. It's Grace that's coming through now to take it up. Who's going to get the touch? I think Grace is going to get it. Lane 7 and 1. Grace Dew 59.39. Melissa Turnbull 59.70. Finished like a train to get that second place. Arabella Ward also will be delighted to be under the minute. 59.93. All changed there, John, the last 10-15 metres.
Yeah, quite often see that in these shorter races. Swimmers coming through strongly. Moving on to heat number 3, lane 1, Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics, lane 2, Daisy Bevan, Mount Kelly, lane 3, Anna de Grosser from Best, lane 4, Megan Park, Annick Dolphins, lane 5, Ellie Falls from Larne, lane 6, Jamie Lee Tyson, Ulverston, lane 7, Grace Noonan, Mulgai and Bears Den, lane 8, Ella Stevenson, City of Glasgow. All swimmers with entry times under a minute. Let's see if we can get them all under the minute mark in this heat. Megan Park, up from the lovely town of Annick down in Northumberland. I think it's Northumberland. Fastest entry time in lane 4. Down the first 50, very close. Going well on the far side of the pool in lane 1, Morven Adams, but also going well this side of the pool in 6, Jamie Lee Tyson, and 8, Ella Stevenson. I think it could be Jamie Lee touches first. It's Morven in 1, Jamie Lee in 2nd, 28.35. Morven's ran this morning in the 400 AM. She's leading this one out from lane 1. Very popular lane today, lane 1. Second place in lane 6. Jamie Lee Tyson. These two have it between them. Third place in lane 2 at the minute. Daisy Bevan. But it's between lanes 1 and 6. Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics in 1. Jamie Lee Tyson, lane 6 from Ulverston. And on the touch, it looks like it will be the lane 6 swimmer, is it? No, it's Wayne. Morven Adams gets it, 58.92 for her. Jamie Lee Tyson, 58.99 in 2nd. Daisy Bevan in 3rd place in lane 2, 59.82. 58.92 for Morven Adams, under the 59-second mark, so a good swim from her.
What a swim for her. She's really been swimming well today, John. Just shows you age is no barrier. Mila Mardell from Ulverston in 1. 2, Eve Wood, Orkney. 3, Jessica Heaps, Falthouse Penguins. 4, Heidi Wren, City Glasgow. 5, Melissa Mainwaring, West Lothian. 6, Sophie McClure from Tadcaster. 7, Emmy Hutchison, Edinburgh University. And 8, Elizabeth Land from Newcastle. Emmy Hutchison in lane 7, 23-year-old. Good to see her still competing at this. Very much a sprinter. 50s and 100s is what she does. The Orkney Shetland swimmer based at Edinburgh University. She's in the mix, but going well in lane 5. Melissa Mainwaring from Swim West Lothian. Jessica Heaps, Falthouse Penguins in 2nd. Emmy Hutchison in 3rd, 27.97. Well, that's a cracking split. Can she keep this going? Jessica Heaps not that far behind in lane 1. Mia Mardell with a late charge. Emmy Hutchison still there, but Melissa Mainwaring has this one well wrapped up here. All about 2nd place. Melissa Mainwaring. Lane 1 and 3, I think close hundreds between them. Jessica Heaps 59.75, 59.76. Well, Melissa Mainwaring went out extremely strongly, 58.67. So that takes over half a second of her entry time.
Heat 5, lane 1, Helen Stoddard, East Lothian. Lane 2, Kiana Kutzer, Warren de Baths. Lane 3, Mia McLeod from Swim IT. Lane 4, Abigail Stemp, Edinburgh University. Lane 5, Paige van der Westhuizen, University of Stirling. Lane 6, Emily Maxwell from Derwentside. Lane 7, Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim. And lane 8, Felicity Boyle, Mount Kelly. Fastest entry time, Abigail Stemp, 58.7 out. Fastest time in the afternoon so far, 58.67. Very closely matched up the first 50. Lanes 4 and 5, Abigail in 4, Paige in 5, Felicity in 8 going well. possibly is lane 8, Mount Kelly's Felicity Boyle. Lane 5, going to take this one between them, Paige van der Westhuizen, 28.35 in first place. Second place in lane 8 for Felicity Boyle, third place in lane 3, Mia McLeod. Very close between these swimmers. Coming through in lane 6, Emily Maxwell. Or possibly just lane 8 still, Felicity Boyle from Mount Kelly. We're very close for second at the minute. Coming through in lane 5, Paige van der Westhuizen, but it looks like it could be the outside lane. Felicity Boyle, is she going to get the touch? She does. 58.88 for Felicity. Second place in lane 3 for Mia McLeod. Third place in lane 4 for Abigail Stemp. 58.88 Felicity Boyle.
Just hung on at the death there, John.
Good swim from the outside lane.
Heat 6. 1. Natalie Marshall, Swim West Lothian. 2. Amber Stevenson, South Ayrshire. 3. Ariana Stokes from Morpeth. 4. Catherine Renfrew, Perth City. 5. Natasha Simpson, Warner Baths. 6. Ashley Drake, Warner Baths. 7. Isla Jones, City of Sheffield. 8. Laura Hudson from Newcastle. No lane 3 in this one.
So in this final heat this afternoon, Natalie Marshall,
Low 58s for most of these girls. Good start in lane 6. Ashley Drake, Warner Baths over in lane 1. Natalie Marshall, Swim West Lothian also well there. Amber Stevenson in 2 in the mix as well, and in lane 4 Catherine Renfrew from Perth City at lanes 1, 4 and 2. Catherine Renfrew 27.87 from Natalie Marshall, 27.90. Amber Stevenson 27.96. Very tight between those three. Ashley Drake just a little bit back. So it looks as though it's lanes 1, 2 and 4 going to take this out the turn. Advantage I think still with Catherine in lane 4. Very, very tight. It's Catherine Renfrew who's going to take this in lane 1 and in 6. Oh, it was tight. Catherine Renfrew 57.91. Ashley Drake didn't get in second place, 58.18. Natalie Marshall 58.24. Another good swim from Catherine. Nice to get under 58 seconds, John.
Yeah, just misses out on a place in the C final as well tonight. So close, but not quite close enough, I'm afraid, for Catherine. But the fastest swim of this afternoon, nevertheless.
So move on to breaststroke. It's 7 heats.
Heat number 1, lane 2, Jack Kelso. Lane 3, Fraser Tetlow. Lane 4, Mark Watshorn. Lane 5, Dean Fern. Lane 6, Miles Tupman. Seven heats. 29.31 is the 24th fastest time. See how many of these boys in the late heats can possibly get close to that. But meanwhile, Dean Fern going well up the first 25 in lane 5, Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer. Touch is possibly just ahead of Miles Tupman in 6. Going well in lane 3, Fraser Tetlow. It's going to be pretty close, maybe still just Dean, but Fraser coming through strongly. Fraser could well just nick this one under the slags, and he does. 32.01, second place for Dean Fern, third place for Miles Tupman. 32.01, Geary's Fraser Tetlow takes heat 1.
All about getting that touch spot on there, John. You're right. And to heat number 2. 8 scheduled to go in this one. Looks like we have an empty lane 6. So we have Jack Wallace, Orkney, 2 Hugo Douglas Reeves, Darlington, 3 Connor Christopherus from Aberdeen Dolphins, 4 Robbie Carlyle, South Lanarkshire, 5 Adam Hill, Stirling Swim, the empty lane 6, 7 Torn Liversidge, South Aberdeenshire, and 8 Michael Elsevier from Birmingham. Times in this highs 31s to low 32s. Over in lane 1, Jack Wallace from Orkney, and I think in this near side, Michael Let's see, from Birmingham. So the two outside lanes, I think, with the advantage here, John.
And certainly that's the case, yeah.
Might just be lane 1 from 8, just 31.65, 31.78. Jack and Michael with Robbie Carroll in the middle lane, taking 3rd place.
The number of swimmers that have won from outside lanes both this morning and this afternoon has been really unusual. There's usually 1 or 2, but we must have had 6 or 8 already.
Well, unfortunately, disqualification. Just wait for that to be confirmed in lane 1. So that now promotes Michael to 1st place, 31.78. Robbie in 2nd, and Tom Liversidge gets 3rd.
Heat 3, lane 1, Marcus Blake. Lane 2, Luke Janssen. Lane 3, Tom Robertson. Lane 4, Alex Stewart. Lane 5, Logan van der Meulen. Lane 6, Dylan McCombie. Lane 7, Torben Run. And lane 8, Samuel Antrobus. Alex Stewart, fastest entry time, 31.68 in lane 4. It's lanes 3 and 5 off the blocks. Tom Robertson in 3, Logan van der Meulen in 5. Already building up a nice lead over in a 50 race. Tom Robertson rapid down that first 25. Good turn from Logan van der Meulen now in lane 5, the Sterling swimmer. And it's going to be between Tom in 3, Logan in 5. Logan looking really strong coming under the flags. I think he's going to get the touch, and he does. 30.8, good swim. 2nd place for Tom Robertson, 31.06. So nearly a second off his entry time for Logan van der Meulen. The winner of Heat 3 in a time of 30.80.
Good on backstroke, Logan, but showing his no slouch on breaststroke either. Louis Doubledam from Durham City in lane number 4. Sorry, in lane number 1 in Heat 4. In 2, Michael Skako, Inverleith. 3, Magus Bullock from Shetland. 4, Roman Wallace, Borough Barnsley. 5, Jacob Duncan, Highland Swim Team. 6, Thomas Power, Weir Valley. 7, Lewis Gray, Inverclyde. And in 8, Jack Milne, University of Aberdeen Performance. Times in this one all in the sort of mid-31s. Lane 4 going well along with lane 7. So it's Roman Wallace, Lewis Gray. Lewis Gray probably with the advantage now. Good turn from Lewis has given him half a body length advantage, and that's key in breaststroke coming down the final stretch. Lewis Gray, Jacob Duncan I think might get 2nd ahead of Roman Wallace. He does 30.53. That's the 2nd fast on his entry time. Jacob Duncan 30.82 also improves, and Roman Wallace 31.14. So the first 3 home all inside their entry time.
Heat number 5, lane 1, Ewan Weir. Lane 2, Brendan Johnson. Lane 3, Jack Mitchell. Lane 4, Jack Lorimer. In 5, Logan Ward. 6, Callum Aitchison. In 7, Kieran Breshner. And lane 8, Ewan Beattie. Get a few swimmers sub 31 in this heat, hopefully. Well off the blocks in lane 2, Brendan Johnson, Aberdeen Performance. Going well down here in 7 and 8, Kieran Breshner and Ewan Beattie. Also going well in lane 5, Logan Ward, which is probably the near side of the pool that have it. 7 and 8, Kieran Breshner in 7, Ewan Beattie in 8. Going well in 5, Logan Ward. Looks like it's going to be this side of the pool, is it? A few touches first, and it's lane 5, Logan Ward, 30.73. 2nd place in lane 8, Ewan Beattie. 3rd place was lane 7's Kieran Breshner. 30.73, your winning time.
Move on to Heat 6. Gavin Roberts in 1, City Glasgow. 2, Alexander Williams, Ealing. 3, Ben Swarm, Brother Stockton. 4, Joseph Martin, Derwentsside. 5, Max Pelosi, City Glasgow. Teammate 6, Jack Holmes. 7, Finlay Nelson, Dumfries. And 8 is Charlie Morris from Lamb. Mid to high 30s in this one. Good start in lane number 4. And also well there in 7. Joseph Martin and Finlay Nelson. Out the turn. Finlay Nelson, good turn as it was with Joseph Martin between those two. Joseph Martin in 4, Finlay Nelson in 7. Who's going to get this? It's tight. Lane 4 and 7 with lane 3, I think, third. Joseph Martin, 30.46. Finlay Nelson, 30.87. Ben Swarm, 31.16. So a couple of Joseph Martin, just I think inside his into time.
So our 7th and final heat, lane 1, Oliver Dodsworth, lane 2, Adam Scott, lane 3, Scott Quinn, lane 4, Don Bissett, lane 5, Brandon Aitchison, lane 6, George Clough, lane 7, Dylan Gosden, and lane 8, David Smith. Don Bissett, 29.91, the only one under 30 seconds in terms of entry time, so a couple of these boys might be under that 30-second mark this time. Good starting lane 6 from George Clough, lane 4 Don Bissett, these two are leading the way. And come up to the touch, it's Don touching first, head of George in 6. Close for third. In lane 4, University of Stirling's Don Bissett leading the way from George Clough in 6. Starting to come through in lane 5 is Brandon Aitchison, but this is all about lane 4, Don Bissett. He's going to touch in time of 29.49. Not quite fast enough to make a final tonight, but comfortably the faster time this afternoon. Second was George Clough in lane 6. Third in lane 5, Brandon Aitchison. So your winner of heat 7, Don Bissett, 29.49.
So now move on to the ladies. 6 going our first heat. Katie Simpson, Heart of Midlothian in 2. Ellie MacArthur, Morgan Bearsden in 3. Abby Whitfield, Derwent Side in 4. Myla Pyle from Newcastle Swim Team in 5. Beth Richardson from Tynemouth in lane 6. And in 7, Sophie Parker from Warner Baths. 6 heats. .36 seconds these girls are entered in. Very strong start in lane number 5. Pyle from Newcastle, she's the early leader, halfway. And good turn, Mella Pike. Over the far side, Katie Simpson from Hearts. She'll have to settle for second. Well, Newcastle girl has this one coming into the final few metres. Mella takes that. Katie Simpson, I think, but just touched out by Beth Richardson in lane 6 for that second place. Mella Pike, 35.37. Nice improvement by almost a second. Beth Richardson, Tynemouth, 36.35 and 36.37. Katie Simpson.
So heat number 2, lane 1 Alana MacDonald, lane 2 Scarlett Strathy, lane 3 Isabel Munnett, lane 4 Ellen McPhee, lane 5 Ellie Kennedy, lane 6 Abby Thompson, lane 7 Hannah Stahl, and lane 8 Hannah Johnston. So the time to get into the C final tonight, 34.29. Looking at the entry times, that's well within the realms of possibility for some of these young ladies this afternoon, particularly in the later heats. So in this heat, lane 5, Ellie Kennedy going well, City of Glasgow swimmer at the first 50. Going well at the top of the pool in lane 1, Alana MacDonald. And in lane 6, Abby Thompson. But it's a lane 5 swimmer, Ellie Kennedy, leading the way. Going well on the top of the pool, Alana MacDonald. Also starting to come through in lane 4, Ellen McPhee, but it's Ellie Kennedy leading the way. I think she's going to win this one. She's going to touch first, 34.89. Second place for lane 1, Alana MacDonald. Third place, lane 6 for Abby Thompson. City of Glasgow's Ellie Kennedy, 34.89. Your winner of that heat.
Kennedy, Alan McDonald second, 35.33 and 35.49.
Some good swims by some of these youngsters already, John.
Yeah, we had 2 heats and we're getting close to that time already.
So on to our third heat. Emily Burrell, Katie Towers, Jessica Schultz, Anna Weaklin, Madison Christophorus, 6 is Ailey McNair, 7 is Will Kendall, and 8 Katie Coventry. Pretty level start, might just be Emily Burrell over on that far side of the Darlington swimmer with the green cap, and on the near side, so 2 outside lanes again, John. Katie Coventry
Morpeth
from
again.
Morpeth, yeah. It's a Morpeth swimmer, I think that's got this one wrapped up. It's tightening up though. In lane 6, Ailey McNair coming through strongly. Oh, it's a tight finish. Lane 8 from lane 6, I think. Katie Coventry, Morpeth doing the business again. 35.17. Ailey McNair in second, 35.77. And the far side, Emily Burrell, 35.83. Well done, girls.
Heat number 4, lane 1, Katie Simpson, lane 2, Erica Watt, lane 3, Amelia Ray, lane 4, Ella Matt George, lane 5, Bronwyn Payne, lane 6, Honey Rose Grocott, lane 7, Gabriella Winton, and lane 8, Emily Jackson. 35.3, Ella Matt George, fastest entry time.
Lane 1, Katie Simpson, lane 2, Erica Watt, Amelia Ray, 3, Ella Matt George.
Lanes 1 and 3 off to a fast start. Katie Simpson in 1, Amelia Ray in 3. Was going well in lane 5, Bronwyn Payne, but it's the far side of the pool. Lane 1 again, clearly touching first. Katie Simpson, Edinburgh University swimmer. Lane 3, Amelia Ray. Going well in lane 5, Bronwyn Payne. Also down here in lane 8, Emily Jackson, but at the far side of the pool, this looks like it could go to Edinburgh University's Katie Simpson. Could be an outside lane swimmer again in lane 1, and she touches first, 34.59 for Katie. Second lane 5, Bronwyn Payne. Third in lane 7, Gabriella Winton. Your winner of that heat, Katie Simpson.
They're getting nearer that 34.29, John.
I think we could get a few swimmers from this afternoon to the finals tonight in this event, Robert. It's looking that way with 2 heats to go.
Indeed. All these swimmers virtually sub 35. Heat number 5, Maya Cheshire, Elgin. 2, Evie Palmer-Jones, Tadcaster. 3, Ellis Cousins, Perth City. 4, Amelia Mardell, Ulverston. 5, Rebecca Cole, South Lanarkshire. 6, Perry Scobie, Stirling Swim. 7, Kira Wimble from Reed School. And in 8, Alana Wilson, Bellshill Sharks. Let's see who gets the best start. Well, lane 3, cracking start. Elise Cousins well there. So the Perth City swimmer with the advantage, maybe by half a metre over in lane 1. Maya Cheshire from Elgin, and in lane 8. It's a red cap, it's not Morpeth, it's Bellshill Sharks, but it's the red caps, Perth and Bellshill to the 4 here. Ellis Cousins, I think, is going to take this from lane 3, 4 and 8. Ellis Cousins 33.94. Well, we did say we were getting pretty close to 34.29. Well, we've surpassed that by some way. 33.94 puts her second best for the B final. C final. C final rather. So 34.28 is now the target. Kira Sterica will be hoping no one swims faster than that.
In our final heat, lane 1, Katie Caldwell, lane 2, Ailey Armstrong, lane 3, Isla MacDonald, lane 4, Jasmine Smith, lane 5, Alicia Goodbrand, lane 6, India Washer, lane 7, Annabelle Cook, and lane 8, Leah Bullock. And I think one or more might do that, Robert, in this heat. We've got some fast swimmers. Lanes 3 and 4, really quick out of the blocks. Isla MacDonald, Jasmine Smith, also going well, India Washer in 6. But it's lanes 3 and 4 and lane 1.
Yes,
Katie Caldwell,
lane
touching
1
first. But it's lane 4, Jasmine Smith. Her entry time is 33.93. She's starting to pull away now. Going well in lane 1 still, Katie Caldwell. 3, Isla MacDonald. But lane 4, Jasmine Smith is going to be comfortably into one of the finals tonight. 33.08.
Well, that gets her into B final, John.
So she's fastest into the B final.
Unbelievable. Yes, isn't
Fastest into the B final. And we've got another swimmer into the C final. So we'll have to confirm that, but I think there's at least 2 or 3 swimmers.
Well, 34.02. The first two were 30.
34.02 a second. So
yeah,
she's well in as well.
34.02. So she goes in.
So we've got at least 3 swimmers from this afternoon in that event alone.
So
and we'll confirm that for you later,
yeah.
I think.
I think Mary Wood, who was 21st fastest, survives on a 34.23. But once that's combined, people here will check that out. But amazing, someone almost getting into the A final, not quite, getting in fastest in the B final.
Well, ninth fastest overall.
Yeah.
If anyone does drop out from that A final, she will move up as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some fantastic swims this afternoon, and Jasmine Smith there in that last heat, fantastic.
Yeah. And 2 by rights automatically into that C final. That being so I think it was Katie Cole? I can't remember. Katie Colwell in lane 1, who might have been second. So 200 backstroke. This is the first of 5 heats. So in lane 1, Joe Carter goes from Delting to Ruben Kelly. Dumfries, in fact, we have an empty lane in lane 1. So we're not managing to get down from the Shetland area. 2 is Ruben Kelly, Dumfries. 3, Andrew Smitten, South Aberdeenshire. 4 is Finn Bremner, going extremely well from Warner Bass. 5, David Landman, City Glasgow, looks to be second. Ryan Broadley in lane 6 from the Broch. 7, Isaac Jones, Mount Kelly. And 8, Fraser Tetlow from Gary. 29.60 for Finn at the first 50. Times these lads are in, 2.16s and 2.17s. John will tell me what they need to do in a moment to get into a B final. It's a big ask.
Yeah, 2:05.41, Robert. And looking at the programme, I thought it was going to be a big ask for all this afternoon swimmers, although we do seem to have a very quick swimmer in our final heat, which we'll come on to later.
Yeah. So halfway, Finn, 101.78. Well, if he can pull out a 104, he's got half a chance, but it'll be a miracle if he does anything like that, John. It's all about just trying to take a few seconds off your entry time. Finn Bremner's going extremely well.
Well, I was just going to say, Robert, look at his entry time and that first 100. It doesn't matter if he gets in the B final or not. This is going to be a fantastic swim. If we can keep this going, it's going to be a massive PB for Finn.
Well, a 34. We're looking if he can pick it up just a little bit in the final 50, getting under 210. That will be a super swim. That's maybe what he's trying to get to, close to 210.
He's blown the field away in this first heat.
Going well in second place, the City Glasgow lad David Landman. Coming through in lane 7, Isaac Jones from Mount Kelly, just a 14-year-old. He's having a very good swim. He'll be looking to try and take a second or two off that 2:17.59. But there we are, just outside the 210, 2:10.06. And the Mount Kelly lad, I think, gets second. 2:16.07. Well done, Isaac. You've taken a second and a half off that entry time. And David Landman, 2:16.36. Also improves by about half a second. And Broadley in fourth place. So good swim, especially for Finn, taking about 6 seconds or so for that time, John.
Yeah, sets the standard for the afternoon to follow. Heat number 2, lane 1, James Wheatley from Mount Kelly. Lane 2, Sean Sy Griffiths, Warren de Bass. Lane 3, Logan Jackson, University of Aberdeen Performance Squad. Lane 4, Kyle Wong, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Ewan Beatty, Warren de Bass. Lane 6, Scott Mitchell, Glenrothes. Lane 7, Callum Muirhead from West Lothian. And lane 8, Devin Crichton, Chesterler Street. Fastest entry time, City of Glasgow's Kyle Wong, 2:15.97. 2:10.06, Finn Bremner's time from the previous heat. So good underwater by lanes 4 and 5, particularly Ewan Beattie in lane 5, Warren de Bath swimmer. And he's touches first as a result of that start and underwater work. Going well in lane 8, Devin Crichton. Lane 7, Carl Muirhead. Lane 2, Sean Griffiths. But it's still Ewan Beattie leading the way at the first 50. 30-33. Second place teammate Sean Griffiths. James Wheatley in third place, Carl Muirhead in fourth. So the two Warren de Bath swimmers in 2 and 5. Red caps leading the way. Very closely followed, it must be said, by James Wheatley in 1. Logan Jackson going well in 3. And this side of the pool, Carl Muirhead in 7, Devin Crichton in 8. But Ewan Beattie fast off the blocks. And he's going to be leading at the halfway mark. 1:03.56. So still well on course to beat his entry time here if he can keep that going. Looking strong, closing the gap slightly maybe in lanes 2, Sean Griffiths, in lane 7, Kyle Muirhead. Good battle on for second, third and fourth. James Wheatley in 1, Sean Griffiths in 2, Kyle Muirhead in 7, but no doubt that Ewan Beattie led this one from the start, 1:38.81. He was the second fastest up that 50 behind Sean Griffiths in lane 2. Maybe they're closing slightly, but I do think Ewan's going to hold them off here. He's looking very strong still. Going to battle on for second and third. Teammate Sean Griffiths in 2. James Wheatley in 1 with a good turn. What's Ewan got left in the tank? Lane 5, Warren de Bath. Led from the start. He's going to hold everybody off and win the second heat. He touches first, 2:13.60, so a nice personal best for Ewan. Nearly 3 seconds. Second place Sean Griffiths, third place for James Wheatley.
Well done to the first 4 home, all on their entry time. Logan Jackson also just inside his entry time. As we move on to heat number 3, Jack Dougherty Simpson from Scotia. 2, Nathaniel Reeve, Mount Kelly. 3, Tom Armitage, Highland Swim Team. 4, Nicholas Land, Newcastle Swim Team. 5, Keane Smith, City of Glasgow. 6, Luke Porteous, University of Aberdeen Performance. 7, Anthony Davis from Mount Kelly. And in lane number 8, Bobby Thompson from Shetland. Looks like we have an empty lane in lane 6, Luke Porteous. No show. So times in this 2:14s, 2:15s. Nice start over in lane 2, John, from Nathaniel Reeve, Mount Kelly swimmer. Most of these swimmers sort of ages 15, 16, 17. Youngest in this is 14-year-old Nicholas Land from Newcastle, who's going well in lane 4. Those of you who had joined us this morning when John and I were commentating, we had Duncan Scott, who was swimming a 50 breaststroke, I think, initially, and it was a bit late in getting there, so Duncan did not get to swim that. We wondered what the reason was, and it was because he was obviously late in getting to the start, and by the technical rules, our referee had no choice but to get the race underway and not delay the start, so Duncan had to accept things. He was very magnanimous about it, and then appeared for the butterfly, but we'll have Duncan in the final tonight, John, for the butterfly, 150 butterfly, which will be a good one.
Yeah, I think we've got some fantastic finals tonight. Anybody who's watching this afternoon, you should tune in tonight, because there's going to be some brilliant finals, not least that 50 fly with Duncan and Jacob Peters and Matt Richards all in that one.
Yeah.
So Wales v England v Scotland.
But just thought we'd bring you up to speed with that one in case anyone was wondering what had gone wrong this morning. So that was the main reason. Jack Doherty Simpson from Scotia, just the north side of Glasgow, 1:38.47, has the advantage. It's just increased that advantage a little bit. Can he hold on with 25 to go? Needs a good turn. Lane 7, Anthony Davis coming through to put in a late surge. So out the final turn. Well, not much between the two. If anything, it's looks as though it might just be late 7 with late charge. It's lane 1, Jack Doherty Simpson just taking it. 2:12.98. Anthony Davis 2:13.14. Daniel Reeve 2:13.43. So good swims from all those three, all inside their entry times. Certainly something about those outside lanes today, John. Lots of winners coming from them.
Yeah, lane 1 again. Perhaps not as many tonight, I don't think, in the finals. Anyway, heat number 4. Lane 1, Marcus Haig, Mount Kelly. Lane 2, Adam Scott, Ren 96. Lane 3, Kyle Mitchell from Geary. Lane 4, Andrew Sawkins, Borough of Newham. Lane 5, Owen Williamson, East Lothian. Lane 6, Jack Simpson, South Lanarkshire. Lane 7, Ethan Williams from Newcastle. And Lane 8, Noah Ragg, City of Glasgow.
John, Andrew Sawkins, I'd fancy him if it was a 50, but it's 200.
Closely matched in entry times. Andrew does has the fastest, 2:12.44. Probably will take this one out, you would think, from lane 4.
And 84, Marcus Haig from Mount Kelly in 1, Adam Scott in 96 and 2, Carl Mitchell from Geary in 3.
And he does with a fantastic start and underwater work. Also going well in lane 2. Adam Scott. This side of the pool in lane 6 and 7. Jack Simpson, Ethan Williams. And it is Ethan Williams in lane 7, Newcastle swimmer. Andrew Sawkins in 4. Going to be leading down the first 50. 29.50, so the fastest time of the afternoon for Andrew. Second place, Jack Simpson in 6, ahead of Owen Williamson in 5, Ethan Williams in 7. It looks like we've got a race in our hands here. 7 swimmers very closely matched. Andrew Sawkins still leading the way in lane 4. In lane 5, Owen Williamson. In 7, Ethan Williams. In lane 6, Jack Simpson.
You can see the turns there, John. Andrew getting almost 10 metres off the turn compared to everybody else.
It's experience of age, Robert. Andrew 24 this year, oldest swimmer in this heat. Looking very strong, 1:02.21 at the halfway mark. Second place in lane 7, Ethan Williams. Owen Williamson third in lane 5. Ahead of in lane 6, Jack Simpson. So still lanes 4, 5, 6 and 7 battling this one out. Andrew pulling away if anything. Looks like he swam this one very conservatively. Second place lane 7 for Ethan Williams. 50 metres to go, 1:35.3. So you'd think he's going to be under his entry time, starting to really motor now is Andrew. And I think he could get under the 2:10 mark here, Robert, with 25 metres to go.
Well, he's got every chance.
Second place in lane 5 for Owen Williamson. Third place lane 7 for Ethan Williams, but it's going to be Borough of Newham's Andrew Sawkins, who's going to be comfortably inside his entry time of 2:12.44 and a good swim, 2:07.18 for Andrew. Second place Owen Williamson in lane 5, third place in lane 7 for Ethan Williams.
Well, that was some swim from Andrew. So on to heat 5. 1, Joseph Edgar, Derwent side. 2, Finlay Davis, Midlothian. 3, Ethan Stewart, South Lanarkshire. 4, Jamie Ferguson, University of Aberdeen Performance. 5, Calvin MacDonald, University of Aberdeen Performance. 6, Blake Hooper, Chesterley Street. 7, Louis Lawless, City Glasgow. And 8, Louis Doubledum, Durham City. Just another little bit of useless knowledge that we throw in, John. Peter Sawkins, if you watch the British Bake Off, was the youngest winner of that a year or so back. That's Andrew's younger brother.
So heat 5 is our hot heat.
Doesn't swim though, that I'm aware of. But, we're going to move on to our final heat. And we have Jamie Ferguson with an entry time of 1:58.85. And I can only assume that there must have been maybe a problem with maybe the entries or something, but obviously Ori's had something on this morning, and people have said, yeah, no problem, Jamie, come and swim. We want you to compete, which we all want them to do.
Probably an exam, I would guess,
yeah,
Robert, this time of
year. Could well be this time of the year. So that's this occasionally happens. We do have the odd swimmer that has exams. It's happened in the past, and I'm sure that's the reason that Jamie's in that in 57.35. Having gone at 29.88.
Scottish Academy swimmer off to Zurich with the team, Geneva with the team in January. So Jamie, one of our best backstrokers, and I think it's the only match of which finally gets into tonight, either the A or the B.
Yeah, if he can get sub 127, he's got a chance of maybe getting into that A final. Well, it's I think it's the B final for Jamie, 128.90. I've got to think, I'm sure Jamie Ferguson was an ex-Midlothian swimmer. You miss that when you've been out of the pool for so long, for a couple of years, COVID, you know, they're still at school, and then 2 years later they've jumped to university. But always been very good as a youngster, and going really well indeed. 2:01, 2:02.09. That's fine. He's in the B final. I'm sure he'll be quite happy to come along and get a swim this evening. Louis Lawler, well done, Louis. We had a busy weekend a couple of weeks ago at the Parameet, performed very well, and 2:11.66 for Louis. He'll be pleased with that. Inside the 2:11.95 he was entered at. Blake Cooper, just Lily Street, 2:12.19 in third place. So we'll have Jamie Ferguson back this evening for the B final. John?
Yep, University of Aberdeen performance squad swimmer shares a flat with Finlay Wallace, formerly of St Thomas, up in Aberdeen.
So 5 heats now for the girls. Can you cope with 3 swimmers, John?
I'll do my best. In heat 1 we have lane 3, May Rogers from Warren de Baths, lane 4, Eve Wood from Orkney, and in lane 5, Libby Doubleday from University of Stirling. Close on entry times, 2:29.24 through to 2:29.60.
Find it strange, a 17-year-old at university, but she's obviously finished maybe 5th year and gone straight there.
On to the women's to the backstroke, 5 heats here. Lane 3 of this heat 1 is May Rogers from Warren de Baths. 2 we have Eve Wood from Orkney. Sorry, 3 is May Rogers, 4 is Eve Wood from Orkney, and 5 Libby Doubleday, University of Stirling.
And down the first 25, lane 4, Eve Wood, youngest swimmer, starting off in the lead.
Entry times in the 2:29 for all 3 of these girls. That's May Rogers, 33.51. More known as
33.51 for the first 50.
Showing good form on this backstroke here. And she's now turning in the lead.
This is where the technical officials in the inside lanes don't have to worry too much. It's always the middle lanes that have all the work to do when you only have 2 or 3 swimmers in the pool.
Yeah, but no excuses for the swimmers, no waves or anything like that, with only 3 of them swim their own race, and it's quite a close one for only 3 swimmers. In the lead, 1:09.79 for May Rogers at the halfway mark. looking strong. In lane 5, Libby Doubleday. Eve Wood after that quick start, just dropping back slightly, the opening swimmer, but she's the youngest swimmer in the race. But May, Warren de Baths, looking very strong, very smooth, coming under the flags, this time at the 150 metre mark. Good turn, we'll see how far underwater she gets. About 5 metres. Libby does about 7 or 8. Eve does about 5, so the best underwater work from Libby, but the best on the top of the water is May, 146.53.
Turning now with 25 to go.
Looks like she's going to set the pace for the next 4 heats in this event. Second place will be Libby Doubleday from University of Stirling.
Libby's come back a little bit, maybe May's just a bit tired up a bit.
And third place will be the youngster, Courtney's Eve Wood. But a nice personal best for May, 2:23.46. Second place for Libby, also under entry time, 2:27.75 for her, and Eve 2:32.26 just outside hers. So a nice start from the 3 ladies, 3 girls in our first heat. Our winner, May Rogers from Warren de Baths. To our second heat. Okay. And in case you're wondering why we have 6 swimmers in this one, in total 7 swimmers in the last position, so they split it 3 and a 6. We always have a minimum of 3 swimmers in a heat. For those of you on the live stream, just that little bit of technical information for you. So the 6 are in 2, Alex Coy, Wanderbass, 2, Nadine Molson, Burra Stockton, 3, Emma Creaney, Cumbernauld, 4, Katie Barn, Midlothian, in 5, Susia Smith, first, and 7, Talia Blackley, City Glasgow. 33.85 is the split at first turn. Very close. Emma Creaney, the yellow cap of Cumbernauld. Susia Smith from first in a blue cap, also well there in lane 7, City Glasgow. Talia Blackley. Nice turn for Emma. Youngest swimmer, Burra Stockton's Nadine Wilson, is in lane 2. So Emma Creaney, 1:10.79. Time comes from the West District, where she finished second. 5th at the summer meet, become an old girl. And she's trying to extend that lead, which is what she's doing, John, going about a body length or more clear. The youngster in lane 3, Nadine Wilson, coming through to try and get into the minor places. 1:48.37, she's almost 2 seconds up now on Talia Blackley. Entry time for Emma is 2:20.13. So she's very much on to taking a couple of seconds or so off that and finishing extremely strongly down the final stretch. Nadine Wilson going well in lane 3. Talia Blackley, I think, might just hold on for second place. It's going to be very tight indeed. Emma Creaney takes that. This is Newcastle girl Nadine Wilson, who finishes extremely strongly to take second place. And Talia Blackley third, 2:26.25. Nice improvement for Emma. Nadine Wilson in second and Talia Blackley in third. Good swim from Emma there. Yeah, a bit slower than the first heat though, which should go to show that May Rogers' swim was very impressive at 2:23. Heat 3, we have Chloe McLean, Dundee City Aquatics in lane 1, Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphins in 2, Lerwick's Layla Todd goes in 3, South Lanarkshire's Kirsty Gilmore in 4, in 5 Madison Cool from Bucky, lane 6 Isabel Fox, Gateshead and Wickham, lane 7 Kate Kennedy from Morpeth, and lane 8 Kelly Wynne Jones from Mount Kelly.
Well, dare we say lane 7's going to win this since it's Morpeth, since they've been performing well. Time will tell.
Heat 3, we have Chloe McLean, Dundee City Aquatics.
Closely matched on paper, that's for sure. Looking at entry times, great start in lane 5. Madison Cool from Bucky, off the blocks, underwater. Also going well in lane 4, Kirsty Gilmore. The two middle lanes leading this one out at the minute. Also going well in lane 1, Chloe McLean, Dundee City Aquatics.
1, 4 and 5 showing, so Chloe McLean, Kirsty Gilmore and Madison Cool.
So it's 1, 4 and 5 at the minute. And it's certainly 1, 4 and 5. We can't get any score on the scoreboard up, but it was 1, 4 and 5 in lane 1, Chloe McLean in 4, Kirsty Gilmore 5, Madison Cool.
You were spot on with that, John. It was 1, 4 and 5.
It's a bit of scoreboard malfunction. 32.69 was the time down that first 50 for Chloe. She's still leading the way, but Madison Cool and Kirsty Gilmore really working hard. Maybe just Kirsty now leading the way. Lane 4, still going well in 1, Chloe. Madison in 5. These three swimmers have it. Kirsty touches first in lane 4, 109.40. Just outside the time in heat 1 by 1/100th of a second. But it's South Lanarkshire's Kirsty Gilmore in 4, Bucky's Madison Cool in 5, Dundee City Aquatics Chloe McLean in 3. Fourth place is Morpeth's Kate Kennedy in lane 7. It's a blue cat, lane 4, Kirsty Gilmore. 16 this year, starting to swim away from the rest of the field now. Close for second, Kate Kennedy trying to join that argument in lane 7 with Madison Cool and Chloe McLean. 1:46.98, so still just outside the time of the first heat set by May Rogers. But Kirsty Gilmore looking strong. Second place, Madison Cool in 5. Third place, Chloe McLean in 1. Kate Kennedy trying to get into that top 3 in lane 7 between these 4 swimmers. I don't think anyone's going to get close to Kirsty Gilmore. Been very strong in the second half of the race. Can she get inside the time of 2:23.46 set by May in the first heat? Just 2:23.30, fastest time of the afternoon for Kirsty. 4-second personal best. Second place for Madison Cool in lane 5. Third place did go to Morpeth's Kate Kennedy in lane 7, just had a Chloe McLean in 1.
So move on to the fourth heat. Natalia Langan from Gateshead and Wickham goes in 1. In 2, Mia McLeod, swim IT. 3, Kenna Bellotti, Edinburgh University. 4, Elizabeth Land from Newcastle Swim Team. 5, Maya Cheshire from Elgin. 6, Safina Machin, City Glasgow. 7, Melissa Menny from South Lanarkshire. And in lane 8, Orla McInnes, Heart of Midlothian. Times in this one, 2:25s and 2:26s. Can we get something close to 2:20, John? We've taken a few seconds off each time.
Yeah, that B final 2:17.48 is looking a little bit difficult this afternoon.
No swimmer goes in 1, Gateshead and Wickham, so I'm not in this one. Pretty level start, maybe lane 6, just a fraction better than the rest. Safina Machin. And lane 7 now coming through. Not so many. Yeah, and it's still advantage in lane 7. Not so many. 32.45. Slightly faster again, and a very good turn. It's given her a bit of daylight at this early stage. Maya Cheshire and Safina Machin in 5 and 6. Virtually together, they've pulled clear of the rest. And at this halfway stage almost, Melissa Meni has pulled clear. Safina Machin with the advantage in second place, 106.97. Well, that's significantly faster, John. That's about 2.5 seconds faster. So we're certainly every chance that we could get something pretty near to 2:20. It's a question of whether she can keep this strong start going in the 50 that we're seeing, to give her a slim chance of getting anywhere near that 2:17.5 or so mark. Oh, with 50 to go, 36 seconds on that split, 1:43.05. I don't see it happening, but every chance of getting under 2:20. Safina Machin having a very good swim in second place. She seems to be making a little bit of headway on her leader. Maya Cheshire in third. Out the turn. Melissa Meni going well, John. I think she has this cleared by 3 or 4 seconds perhaps.
Only a youngster as well, Robert, only 14, so this is an outstanding swim for a 14-year-old.
It certainly is. 2:19.94, Safina Machin. 2:21.10 takes second place. She'll be delighted to improve her time by a few seconds, as does Maya Cheshire, also inside her time by a couple of seconds or so. 2:23.65. Cannibalisty in fourth. Well, that was a very impressive swim from Melissa. Takes virtually 6 seconds of her time, John.
Yeah, gold medalist at Scottish Summer Meet, so, you know, good form in this event, and clearly one for the future, Robert, for sure. Moving on to our final heat. Lane 1, Emma Finlay, East Lothian. Lane 2, Lily Smith from Ulverston. Lane 3, Louisa Humphries from Larne. Lane 4, Layla Pimlett from Mount Kelly. Lane 5, Niamh Carroll from Tadcaster. Lane 7, Evelyn Hallisey from Newcastle. Lane 7, Jessica Heats from Fauldhouse. And Lane 8, Jamie Lee Tyson from Ulverston. Our final heat, fastest time of the afternoon so far, 2:19.94. B final aim, 2:17.48 for these young ladies. So we'll see how they get on. Let's see who's strongest off the blocks and the underwater. Looks like lanes 3 and 4. Louisa Humphries in 3, Layla Pimlett in 4. And they're going to lead down the first 25. Already starting to pull away a little bit. Going on in lane 8, Jamie Lee Tyson from Ulverston. In 7, Jessica Heats from Fauldhouse. But it's the Mount Kelly swimmer in lane 4, Layla Pimlett, leading the way. She's going to turn first, ahead of Louisa Humphries in 3, Jessica Heats in 7, Emma Finlay in 1. 31.80, so about half a second faster than the previous heat. Going with her in lane 3, Louisa Humphries, Irish swimmer over from Larne. Going well in 1, Emma Finlay. In 7, Jessica Heaps. That's a Mount Kelly swimmer. Leading the way. Second place, lane 3, Louisa Humphries. Lane 7, Jessica Heaps of Fauldhouse in 3rd. This time they come up to the halfway mark. 1:07.59. So the pace has just dropped a little bit over that previous heat. Second place for Louisa in 3, third place for Jessica in 7, Jamie Lee in 8 coming through into 4th. Got a good battle up front, lanes 3 and 4, Louisa Humphries, Irish swimmer, representing Larne in 3, Mount Kelly's Layla Pimlett in 4, working hard to go with them, Jessica Heaps in Fauldhouse in 7.
It's all about the race here, John. It's they're not going to make the final, but it's all about the race.
We've got a good race. We've got a Scot. We've got an Irish girl. Not sure if Layla is English down in Mount Kelly. But at the minute, it is the lane 4 swimmer, Layla Pimlett, 1:45.46. Second place for Louisa Humphries in 3. Irish girl, third place in 7. Jessica Heats from Fauldhouse. But they are stacking up for third place. Coming through in 6, Evelyn Halissi from Newcastle, lane 8, Jamie Lee Tyson from Ulverston. So this race is tightening up a little bit. Can Layla Pimlet hold on in lane 4? Looks like she possibly will do, but coming through in 6, 7 and 8 are Evelyn, Jessica and Jamie. But I do think lane 4 is going to get it. It is going to be Layla Pimlet. Oh. She did touch first, I think, but we need to wait for the scoreboard.
Well, interesting finish, John. Lane 6 was very well there. At the moment showing 5th on the scoreboard where we are. But, I think she might have got up to challenge for the top 3 there, John. Don't know what you thought.
Well, I thought lane 4, Layla Pimlet held on, but we'll wait and see. We did have 1 or 2 scoreboard issues this morning, so apologies this afternoon. We thought we'd fix the gremlins, but obviously not.
In fact, looking at the scoreboard, it's the scoreboard at the split at 150 rather than the 200, so wee technical glitch here. Bear with us.
And it was a close finish as well, typical.
So if there was a problem getting the electronics sorted, they all hit the pads. That should register, but we also have a backup button which the officials will use, and they use that if there was a technical problem with the pads. Of course, we've also got stopwatches, so there are ways of getting the result. Everything's been going so well up until now, John. We've had no issues, everything's been running to clockwork.
I'm sure we'll sort it quickly. Boys are ready for the next event, which is the 50 metre butterfly, but I'd imagine that'll be a couple of minutes away at least.
Yeah,
Screen you can see is the warm down pool. And the clock has frozen at 2:10.5. So as soon as we get that result, we'll bring it to you. That was the final heat of event 1 to 8, the women's 200 metre backstroke.
So it does seem to be a bit of a glitch with that last one. I did see Ralph Payne, who is the expert here at the Commonwealth pool, on the pads, just checking that things were okay. Ralph's back in the box. We're just checking those times, John. Don't usually have major issues here.
Well, it won't affect tonight's finals, but it's important for the girls in that heat to know where they finished and whether or not they've achieved personal bests.
Yeah, I had to tell what the final times were. I suspect somewhere a little bit over 220.
Yeah, but inside the 223, I think.
Something like that, yeah, indeed.
221, I would be guessing in and around that. And there was 3 or 4 swimmers there very closely matched at the end.
In these events, they're more concerned about getting a good time, and also winning the heat is psychologically something they can go away and say, well, I got a PB and I won the heat. And I've had spot prizes, I believe, this afternoon, John. We've not been party to that, but each event, a little bit of music is played, and it's a random heat. So if you happen to be lucky to be in that heat and you win it, you get a prize of some sort. I don't know what it is.
No, I've no idea, but I am smiling to myself because the spot prize in event 127, the men's 200 metre backstroke, went to the winner of the final heat, where we had Jamie Ferguson in 14 seconds ahead of anybody else.
Right, yeah.
So I'll ask you a question, Robert. Who do you think won the spot prize in the boys' men's 200 metre backstroke?
Must have been Jamie Ferguson.
It was. So whatever the prize is, it went to Jamie. So and he was grinning from ear to ear when he heard the noise. But whilst we're talking, we'll just preview some of the finals tonight. We've got a brilliant 400 metre individual medley final Well, we start off with the fastest finals of the men's and women's 800. As I do that, it looks like we're going to move on.
Yeah.
So I'll do that maybe later. But do tune in tonight for the finals, please.
Yeah. It's my turn to try and cope with 3 swimmers, John, but it's butterfly, so 50 metres, we have how many heats? 9. Callum Sinclair in 3, Connor Stewart in 4, David Smith in 5, and a strong start in lane 3, Callum Sinclair. So I'm going to slow it in lane 5, David Smith from Glenrothes, and between them Stirling's Connor Stewart. This one looks good for Callum Sinclair already. Gone clear. Callum Sinclair takes that. David Smith second. Connor Stewart third. 26.29. The winning time for Callum.
Just a reminder that we do have A, B and C finals for our 50 and 100 events, which gives this afternoon's swimmers obviously a better chance of getting into a final tonight. The time to do that is 25, or to beat is 25.22. And looking at some of the entry times in the faster heats this afternoon, you would think that we may well have a chance of that. So 25.22 is the time to watch out. We should be moving on to heat number 2, hopefully. And in that, in lane 1, we will have Dominic McCarthy in lane 1, Thomas Parrott in 2, William Ellis in 3, Micah Van Blerk in 4, Conor Myers in 5, Cameron Shaw in 6, Martin Fiala in 7. If you do tune in tonight, you will be able to see Duncan Scott in the A final of this, which proves to be very good. Jacob Peters, specialist butterfly swimmer representing England. Matt Richards, who broke the 100-metre freestyle record last weekend, representing Wales, and Duncan going head to head. So we'll see if we can get any of our swimmers from this afternoon maybe into a B or a C final. But heading up the first 25, lane 3, William Ellis going well. Also going well in 2 and 4, Thomas Parrott, Micah Van Blerk in 4, in 5, Conor Myers. But it's still lane 3, Borough Stockton's William Ellis leading the way, ahead of in lane 5, Conor Myers. And on the touch, I think that's how it's going to finish. Yeah, William Ellis gets first, 26.37. Second place for Conor Myers, and third place for Micah Van Blerk. 26.37, your winning time for the second heat this afternoon.
I don't think we've got anything in the final heat. There are swimmers that would have swam this morning that have had exams, so I think we're safe for this one, John. Heat 3, Jack Milne, Titus Pike, Derek McSporran, Lewis Condie, Joe Carter, Noel Ragg, Edward Bell, Ollie O'Connor. Pretty good start in lane 2. Titus Pike, Lewis Condie in 4 and in 7. Edward Bell with a nice turn, and Titus Pike in 2. These two, I think, have it. Very, very hard to tell. It's lane 2, I think, with advantage. Titus Pike from lane 7 and lane 4. That is indeed the finish. Titus Pike 26.56. Edward Bell 26.61. Only 500s between them. Lewis Condie 27.19 in third place.
As we move on to heat number 4, lane 1, James Burnett, lane 2, Lucas Johnson, lane 3, Ralph Serecki, lane 4, Swally Talib, lane 5, James Cowdrey, lane 6, Richard Butterworth, lane 7, Angelo Gianni Contini, and lane 8, Callum Smart. Fastest entry time, Swally Talib, University of Stirling, Kenyan national swimmer, 26.68.
James Burnett in 1, Lucas Johnson in 2, Ralph Serecki in 3.
Also going well, Ralph Selecki in 3. Also going well in 7, Angelo Gianni Contini. To come off the turn. Lane 4, Swally Talib. Lane 7, Angelo Gianni Contini. Lane 3, Ralph Serecki. Looks like it could be lane 3. Ralph is going to take this one. It's lane 7, Angelo Gianni Contini, 26.29. ties the time from the first heat. The fastest time this afternoon. Second was Ralph Sariki. Third place was Swally Talib.
So halfway there, heat 5. Jackie Chan in 1. 2 Dylan Cashmore. 3 Robson Miles. 4 Tony Parker. 5 Magnus Bullock. 6 Travis Davey. 7 Lewis Gray. And 8 Aaron Morgan. Mid-26s for these guys. Pretty level start. And might just be lane 3, Robson Miles. So at the turn, Travis Davey, pink cap of Dundee City Aquatics comes through. Travis Davey, lane 3 and 4. Travis Davey 26.27 was the fastest time we've had. Robson Miles 26.34 and Lewis Gray 26.65 in third place.
Moving on to heat number 6, lane 1, Gray van der Meulen, lane 2, Andrew Brody, lane 3, Rory Young, lane 4, Logan Ward, lane 5, Isaac Buchan, lane 6, Cedar Gullen, lane 7, Elliot Best, and lane 8, Marcus Scullion. Logan Ward in lane 4, 26.38, fastest entry time. Very closely matched on paper, just 0.1 of a second between the 8 swimmers. See who's got the best underwater work. Lane 3, Rory Young, also going well on the top. Gray van der Meulen, Gray's going to touch first, I think. Also going well down here in lane 7, Elliot Best. Lane 8, Marcus Scullion. Lane 4, Logan Ward. Lane 4, Logan Ward. Lane 7, Elliot Best. Who's going to get the touch? Lane 7, Elliot Best, 26.08. Second place for Logan Ward. Third place for Marcus Scullion. Fastest time so far, 26.08. Elliot Best, your winner.
Move on to heat number 7. 1 Max Upton, 2 Ben Kelly, 3 Carrick Thompson, 4 Adam Scott, 5 Cameron Creaney, 6 Tom Excel, 7 Alex Dion Frio, and 8 Jake Gibson. Youngest swimmer in this one, Alex Donofrio, Mount Kelly in lane 7, 15-year-old Adam Scott the fastest in lane 4. He swam well last week at West Districts. How does he perform in this one? But the fastest start, lane 6, Tom Excel going very strongly indeed in lane 1. Max Upton also there off the turn. Lane 6 with a very lovely turn. Tom Excel has got this one wrapped up. Tom Excel has got this. Lane 5 and lane 1 per lane 7. Cameron Creaney takes second. Alex Donofrio in third, 25.31. Well, pretty close to that time there, John. Just missing out by about a tenth.
Yep, puts him in at 26th, so very close. With 2 heats still to go. 25.22 is the time to beat in heat number 8. Lane 1, Adam Strickland. Lane 2, Finlay Nelson. Lane 3, James Hayes. Lane 4, Ellis Cleworth. Lane 5, Thomas Maskell. Lane 6, Brendan Johnson. Lane 7, Jack Ashurst. And lane 8, Luke Tunstall. Luke Tunstall swam very quick this morning. Watch out for him in lane 8.
Lane 1, Adam Strickland. 2, Finlay Nelson. 3, James Hayes. Ellis Cleworth in 4, Thomas Maskell.
Going well in 4, Ellis Cleworth.
Johnson 6, Jack Ashurst in 7, and Luke Tunstall in 8.
He touches first. Luke Tunstall going well in 8. Also going well in 6 is Brendan Johnson, but it's in lane 4. Ellis Cleworth, Loughborough University is going to take this, I think. It's going to be a quick time. 25.04. So that will put him into the C final tonight. Ellis, 25.04. Puts him in at 18th fastest so far. 25.57 just misses out for Luke Tunstall in lane 8, but Ellis Cleworth, Loughborough University, will be in the C final as things stand, subject to confirmation. We now could have a swim off.
Well, we could have a swim off. They've waited for that one just in case, so we may well have. Well, I would think we'll have that regardless, because we swim off to get into the final, and if somebody else sneaks in, we might have a swim off to get first reserve. Final heat. Miles Kinnan, Peter Allen, Ashley Donaldson, Greg Fairbairn, Finn Brebner, Lucas Laurie, Finlay Chubb and Kevin Goodentops. Lane 6, I think Lucas Laurie with the advantage over in lane 2. Peter Allen going well. It's tight coming down the stretch. Peter Allen perhaps in 2. Oh, it's tight. Peter Allen, I think, gets that. Well, another one knocks out 24.87, and Greg Fairbairn 25.21.
It's a B final for Peter.
25.21. We have a 25.21, so in 22nd place. So we'll wait and see what happens there, John.
And Peter's into the B final.
Certainly,
sure.
There's 2 swimmers get knocked out.
3.
And we may or may not have a swim off for the final place. I suspect we'll have a swim off for first reserve.
Yeah, and a great swim from Peter Allen there.
Yep.
He goes straight into the B final. So on to the girls, and we have 7 heats of this. First heat number 1, lane 3. Kasja Rickleton, Tadcaster, and then 2 Irish girls, Grace Coyle in 4, Sophie Duran in 5. 28.87 is the time for the C final. I think we could get quite close to that as well. Very close between Kasja in 3, Sophie in 5. Maybe just it's the land swimmer, Sophie Duran in 5. Ahead of Kasja Rickleton in 3. Who's going to get the touch? Kasja gets it. Kasja 31.1 for her. Second place for Sophie Duran. Third place for Grace Coyle.
Second heat, 7 go in this one. 1 Jessica Beaton, 2 Georgia Dickey, 3 Amelia Mardell, 4 Nadine Wilson, 5 Savina Machin, 6 is Alana Lau, and in 7 Annabelle Cook. Times in this one 30.3 and 30.4. I've not made it up, honest. So 10th of a second between all 7 girls, and a good start in lane 3 and 5. Mardell, Savina Machin. Very tight at the turn. Savina Machin, I think, just with the advantage. So Red had a swim earlier on. That's maybe helped her. She looks as though she's going to take this one. Savina Machin in 5. Tight for second. 5, 4 and perhaps lane 7. That's 5, 7, 4 it was. Savina Machin 30.39. Well, surprisingly they all swam slower than their entry time. Annabelle Cook 30.69. Nadine Wilson 30.81. I don't think Safina will be too bothered. She won that 30.39 pretty convincingly.
Heat number 3, lane 1, Millie Northrop, Borough Barnsley. Lane 2, Chloe McLean, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 3, Katie Campbell, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 4, Rosie Liston, City Glasgow. Lane 5, Alice Bailey Hamilton, Mount Kelly. Lane 6, Lily Smith from Ulverston. Lane 7, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire. And lane 8, Emily Burrell from Darlington. So keep a close eye on the underwater work. Who comes up last? Who's maximised that? Looks like it's lanes 2, 3 and 7 going well. Chloe McLean in 2, Katie Campbell in 3, Kirsty Gilmore in 7. Off the turn, very close, still maybe just lane 3 and lane 7. In 3 we've got Katie Campbell, 7 we've got Kirsty Gilmore. Looks like it's between these two swimmers. Katie in 3, Kirsty in 7. Who's going to get the touch? Katie gets it. 30.06 for Katie, 30.18 for Kirsty. Third in lane 6, Lily Smith. 30.06, the fastest time so far this afternoon. Your winner of that heat, Katie Campbell, Aberdeen Dolphins.
Good swim from Katie.
Aberdeen Dolphins, our club of the year for 2022, Robert.
They are indeed, yeah.
Fantastic club up there.
Yeah, fully deserved.
Absolutely, some great young swimmers coming through.
What about this working wonders up there in the last 2 or 3 years? Well, not just the last 2 or 3 years, over a long time. Fully deserved. Felicity Boyle, Chloe Barron, Anne Hutchison, Amy's twin sister, by the way, who swam earlier today, Andrea Cox, Eva Fear, Skylar Fruden, Ilsa Clubb and Eva Anguilla. Over on the far side, no surprise, lane 1 again going well. Felicity Boyle, Mount Kelly. And, well, they're in 4. Andrea Cox, Eva Anguilla in lane 8. And, coming through in lane 4, Andrea Cox. Dundee City Aquatic swimmers got this well wrapped up, lane 1. And, well,
B-final.
28.32.
B-final tonight.
B-final for that one.
Yeah, great time. 28.32 for Andrea. Dundee City Aquatic swimmer. And comfortably into the B-final.
Not a swimmer I've heard of, John. Obviously she must be studying at Dundee, one of the universities in Dundee area, and swimming for Dundee City Aquatics Club, but well done.
Yeah, I would assume that to be the case, and as things stand at the minute, with that one swimmer in, we now have a swim-off to the final place in the C-final.
Could be a busy start before we get underway tonight then.
Heat 5. Lane 1, Ashley Drake. Lane 2, Lucy Lucas. Lane 3, Ariana Stokes. Lane 4, Anna Green. Lane 5, Rebecca Smith. Lane 6, Eve Wood. Lane 7, Grace Aduru. Lane 8, Catherine Boddy. No swim in lane 3, Ariana Stokes doesn't go. And up the first, it's lane 5, I think. Rebecca Smith leading the way. Also going well in 7, Grace Aduru. And going well in lane 1, 2, Lucy Lucas. But it's between those 3, Lucy in 2, Rebecca in 5, Grace in 7. Who's going to get the touch? Grace Duru, 29.59 in lane 7, ahead of Rebecca Smith in 5, Lucy Lucas in 2.
Rebecca Smith 29.81 and third Lucy Lucas 29.84.
On to our 6th heat. 1, Mia McLeod. 2, Jessica Heaps. 3, Serene Talentine. 4, Grace Courtney. 5, Arabella Ward. 6, Daisy Bevan. 7, Morven Adams. And 8, Lauren Clark. Well, Morven Adams 29.89. Sorry, 29.69. Can she pick up a second, John? It's possible. She's been swimming pretty well in those earlier swims today.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see.
I also got the youngster Serena Talentel on a 29.48 in lane 3. I know they're not the fastest, but a couple to look out for. Grace Courtney and Arabella Ward 29.40 and 47 respectively in the middle lanes. A good start in lane 3 by Serene Talentile. Also well there is lane 7, Morven Adams, but lane 3 off to a cracking start, isn't she, Serene Talentile? And great underwater work there, John.
Yeah, I think this could be a C-final time.
I think she's managed it. 28.66. Well done, Serene. We'll see you later on.
Certainly will. It's comfortably into the C-final.
We're in swim-off territory then for reserves at the moment for that butterfly final, for the C-final.
But we've still got one heat to go. Heat
Yeah.
number 7, lane 1, Maya Reynard. Lane 2, Madison Cool. 3, Erin Tenkard. 4, Anna Morgan. 5, Nicole Ritchie. Lane 5, lane 6, Evie O'Halloran Hutchison. Lane 7, Ola McInnes. Lane 8, Katie Rose.
Looks like we're out there lane in 4, John. So
So Anna Morgan not swimming. Underwater lane 3 going well. Erin Tenkard, City Sheffield swimmer. She's leading the way. So going well in lane 7, Orla McInnes. Lane 8, Katie Rose. Katie Rose with a good turn. Lane 3, Erin Tenkard. Lane 8, Katie Rose. Erin Tenkard in 3, Katie Rose in 8. Who's going to get the touch? Erin gets it, 28.78. She's in the mix as well for a final place. Madison Cool, 29.46. Third place for Katie Rose, 28.78. I think we're going to need the technical officials to work, the recording team to work that one out.
Yeah, I think Erin Tankard sneaks in last place there, John.
So it might be a tie, I'm not sure. 2 at 28.78 now. But,
yeah, well, I think we've got 3 swimmers that were better than the rest. Nevertheless, it looks like swimmers for possibly minor places, reserve places, or the clubs will make a decision. So we'll move on to 800 free. So as John said, the fastest heat for both will be swum this evening. A total of 5 heats for the men, so we'll have 4 this afternoon and the same for this evening. So the same as for the girls, again 5 heats, 4 this afternoon. Final heat will be this evening.
I don't think there's a Scot swimming in either fastest heat this evening. That needs to be confirmed, but I don't see any names.
I would doubt it, John, if we've got any Scots taking part in either of those. So one thing to bear in mind, the fastest Scot, even if they're not in the top 3, will be awarded the Scottish champion. So we could find that it's the final heat this afternoon where we've got some Scots taking part. So we'll just keep an eye on that when we get to that. So our first heat of 4, 8 go in this. Owen Williamson from the East Lothian swim team. Ollie Carter has been swimming really, really well. Para swimmer from University of Stirling goes into N3, Ollie Myers, Taunton Dean. 4, Barney Ryder, Mount Kelly. 5 is James Bodie, 6, Fraser Tetlow, both from Geary. 7, Harry Pearce, Mount Kelly, and in 8, Oscar Chirnside, also from Geary. 14-year-old Oscar Chirnside, 15-year-old James Bodie, and he's in 5, and in 6, Fraser Tetlow, 16-year-old, 3 swimmers from Geary. They'll relish this event. As mentioned this morning, a lot of the Geary swimmers, both the boys and the girls, took part in quite a lot of our open water events and performed at a very, very high level this year. And we'll be pleased to be able to get an opportunity to do this at the short course today, John.
Yeah, it's great to see, and Geary, every event we come to when it comes to distance events are always very well represented in the longer IM events and in the distance freestyle as well. At the minute it's lanes 3 and 4 taking this one out. Conor Mayers, Taunton Dean in 3, Barney Ryder, Mount Kelly in 5. Third place Rowan Williamson. In lane 1, ahead of the first of the Geary swimmers, Fraser Tetlow in 6.
Key thing in this is to get out nice steady pace, don't go out too fast, John.
Yeah, and it's like what we've already talked about, Robert, in a distance event like that. Speed in and out of the turns, so the skills become more and more important because there's just twice as many turns as there is in a long course event. So that underwater work and the skills in and out just become so much more important.
And you can see Fraser Tetlow in lane 6. Yellow cap is coming through into second place, but a second back.
And again, just a plug for the finals tonight. When we get to the fastest swimmers tonight, we've got some quality distance swimmers, Olympians, Olympic finalists going tonight in the fastest heats of both, the men's and the women's, and you'll see some brilliant skills, underwater skills in and out of the turns. So everyone should be watching. There's plenty to learn. But Barney Ryder, lane 4, Mount Kelly swimmer, leading the way, 33.46.
Keep your eye on Ollie Carter over in lane 2. Swam very well 2 weeks ago at the Parameet. There was a 400 free, and I think if memory serves, he took something like 7 seconds off the time. It might have been even as much as 10. I'd need to double check it, John, but broke the Scottish para record by some margin. So he's going pretty well over in 3rd place.
Yeah, you don't see Ollie do too many 800s. It's usually a little bit long for him, but he's going well at the minute, and he's starting to come through into 3rd place. Still in lane 4, the Mount Kelly swimmer Barney Ryder leading this one out. Fraser Tetlow in lane 6 going well from Geary. Ollie Carter in 2 in 3rd place. But yeah, if Ollie's not done this event for a while, you could well see a Scottish record here for sure.
If we had Mr. Noble with us, he'd be well on the ball on this one. Paul, as you know, there's a lot of commentary on Channel 4 on the para events, and is our guru up here.
But a good race developing,
have a good race,
Ollie right in the mix, in lane 2. Member of the Scottish squad. They're really starting to come back into this. Barney leading the way, 4:22.38 at the halfway mark. Fraser in 2nd place, Ollie in 3rd. Harry Pearce in lane 7 for Mount Kelly in 4th. Bit of James Boddy, Oscar Churnside, Owen Williamson and Conor Mayers. We've got Ollie coming up to 2nd now, so he's actually turning 2nd place, so he's really starting to come through. I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen Ollie do an 800 before.
No,
I can't remember.
I can't remember I'm ever doing an 800. He's looking very strong.
He is. Good race on between him and Fraser for 2nd, and not too far ahead is Barney either. So we've got a good race on here in our first heat. This time it's the 500 metre mark.
No, 5:28 at 500, John. Very impressive. So I think we're looking at a time somewhere pretty close to 8:50.
Yeah, I think inside
maybe inside 8:50 for the leader.
The top 3, I think, are all inside their entry times.
Well inside.
Depends how they finish the race, but they're looking strong, Barney, very young swimmer, only 15 from Mount Kelly in lane 4.
All these guys in the sort of mid 850s, so anything 850 or less will be cracking swim. This is still anybody's here with a little bit over 200 to go. The other 2 lads will need to try and close now if they can, but Barney's looks pretty strong, John.
Fraser's working hard. Ollie looks like he's still pretty comfortable in 3rd place. 6:30, 6:06. About 1:07 for that last 100.
Yeah.
Just slowing slightly, maybe, just a little bit slower than the previous 100.
Difference between Barney and Fraser, 2.3 seconds, John, so it would need to be about 1.5 here to see if there might be a charge on.
He's looking strong, Barney.
Well, advantage over 2 seconds now, almost 3 seconds, so as you say, Barney looks pretty strong.
Half a second faster up that 50 than anybody else. starting to pull away, I think, if anything now.
Fraser just marginally faster in that last 50 than Ollie, so it may well be that that will be our finish order. 7:43 I would expect roughly at the split. 7:42.84. Well, expect him sub 8:50 here. Fraser Tetlow 7:45 and Ollie Carter 7:46. Both look as though they'll take maybe a couple of seconds off their entry time, which will be great. Looking better and better the longer the race goes on, John.
Yeah, the young man is very strong. Very welcome sound of the bell. 50 metres to go. 32.65. He's really picked up the pace and pulling away from the rest of the field, over a second faster. We're just having a look at the Scottish National Para record. We think it's 8:10. $8:46.91 for Barney. Fraser Tetlow 8:50.37 and Ollie Carter 8:53.02.
Okay, just coming onto that. That is a new Scottish S10 record.
Smashed it.
So a cracking time. As you can see on the screen, 8:53.02. We did mention earlier he swam very well at the para meet last week, breaking his 400 metres record. He's done it at double that distance, 8:53.02. Well done, Ollie Carter. Previously swam at Carnegie, John, as you know. Now he's been based at University of Stirling the last 5 years and doing remarkably well.
Yeah, Scottish national team swimmer, podium potential. S10 swimmer from Stirling University and the new Scottish record holder. Well done, Ollie.
Indeed.
Moving on to Heat 2. Lane 1, Ben Kelly, Warren de Baths. Lane 2, Jacob Wood from Elgin. Lane 3, Ben McLaughlin from Geary. Lane 4, Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Nathan Chapman, Mount Kelly. Lane 6, Will Shepherd, Perth City. Lane 7, Zach Slater, East Lothian. Lane 8, Joshua Robinson, Derwentside. We've got a Scottish junior champion to find as well, haven't we, at some point this afternoon?
Indeed.
17 and under on here?
It's 17, yeah, 17 under, and that should be an interesting one in the. Let's say we have Sean McCann, 17-year-old, in a very final heat, but we've had a variety of youngsters in the one before that.
Luke Hornsey,
Scott Fleming.
Yeah.
Final of the British Summer Championships earlier in the year.
Looks like it's another Geary swimmer taking this one out, Ben McLaughlin. 58.83, a couple of seconds faster than the previous heat for Ben. Second place Joshua Robinson, third place Jacob Wood, ahead of Kai Connolly, Nathan Chapman, Will Shepherd, Ben Kelly and Zach Slater. I read an interesting article on Will Shepherd, the Perth City swimmer, very much emerging distance swimmer at Perth. They have so many. He's a poker player, would you believe?
Wow.
Club captain this year at Perth. Obviously a very intelligent young man.
I hope he puts it to good use in the pool.
Well, let's hope he doesn't lose count of how many lengths to go anyway.
Looking good in the early stages here.
Yeah, had a great season, a great long course season, did well. Very much an emerging talent. As is Ben, leading the way from Geary. Kai Connolly in lane 4, a year younger, City of Glasgow, also going well, this time coming up to the 200 metre mark. 2:02.88. So 5 seconds faster than the previous heat. So on course at the minute to be inside their entry times. Kai Connolly's 8:37, the fastest.
So already from 6 seconds up on the previous.
I remember the Scottish junior squad. 6th in the British Summer Championships in this event.
It's good steady pacing here from Ben.
Interestingly, the same split down that 50 for Ben and Joshua Robinson in lane 8, both 32.3.
Kai Connolly's looking strong. It's this third 100.
The swimmer going well in an outside lane to keep us on our toes down here in lane 8. Joshua Robinson from Derwent side.
We've got Nathan Chapman and William Shepherd, but it's still the two swimmers, Ben McLaughlin and Joshua Robinson. 3:07.
Ben McLaughlin 3:07.94 after 300.
105 for the last 100, so settling down into a bit of a rhythm now. Good race here. 5 swimmers, 2 and then 3. Ben and Joshua just ahead of Kai, Nathan and William.
Looking back across all the swimmers who are closest to him as he hits the wall there. 3:40.64, so half a second
Kai Connolly only 15,
on Joshua Robinson. Kai Connolly's
just in 3rd place at the moment.
seconds behind, further behind him.
Nathan Chapman, William Shepherd, those 3 at the moment vying for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Not much between the 3. Joshua Robinson making a little bit more ground, I think, on Ben. Not much between the 2. Good race.
Very good race.
It's out of halfway, still in the lead, 4:13.20. 65.
Very close between the 2 and only 6 100ths between them down that last 50. Joshua just closing the gap by that figure. 3rd place still Kai Connolly. Nathan Chapman pushing him hard. Will Shepherd not too far behind. So good scrap for 1st and 2nd, good scrap for 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Nathan Chapman maybe just sneaked into 3rd place here, John. He's still advantage just with Ben, but there's nothing in it. Barely half a second.
Half a second. And he's now 4 seconds ahead of Kai and now coming into 3rd, Nathan Chapman. So I think
Well, Ben McLaughlin, has he picked the pace up a wee bit? Not much in it again off that turn, John. They're actually turning together.
Yeah, both breathe into this side of the pool, so Ben can possibly see Joshua down this 2nd length. But nothing between it. They turn identically again. 5:18.55.
Well, 0.2 of a second between the 2.
105.3, that last split for the last 100, so Nathan starting to make 3rd place his own, the Mount Kelly swimmer.
Well, we're in the low, probably 8:30s here, maybe 32. Well, can Nathan find something to put in a late charge?
He's certainly the fastest swimmer in the pool at the minute, but he's got a lot to do. 250 metres to go.
Well, Ben McLaughlin still around about 1/4 of a second between the 2. There's nothing. They've been like this for the last 200 metres.
3 100ths the difference down that last 50. The last 4 or 5 they've been just about identical. Stroke for stroke.
Ben McLaughlin and Joshua Robinson. See what the gap is here with 200 to go. Well, it's opened up to the depths of 0.35 now. It's still tight.
Yeah, 105.5, 105.3 that last 100. So very metronomic timings, these two boys. Very, very good 800 metre swimming.
all within a half a second, 0.3 of each other in these last 400. So Ben is swimming a really nicely paced swimming here, as are the other swimmers beside him.
They're spread just about the length of the pool as well. Ben may be just starting to pull away now.
Just starting to push away, Ben.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Over a second.
0.76, so that's a 50 quicker. The first sign that Joshua's finding his pace just a little bit hot now. Ben pulling away, maybe gives Nathan a chance to catch up a little bit. Still Kai in fourth, William in fifth.
It's Joshua's entry time 8:53 against Ben on a 8:39. So the gap is
Ben's up the face there. 103.7 for that last 100.
Yeah.
Started to pull away.
So finishing extremely strongly indeed. Can he sneak under 8:30?
It's going to be close.
They need to be sub 8 minutes, I think, at the turn. Well, he is. He's got every chance, perhaps, of getting under 8:30.
Second place Joshua Robinson, third place for Nathan Campbell, but this is all about Ben McLaughlin versus the clock. Can he get under 8:30? Entry time 8:39.52, so it's going to be about 10 seconds faster than he's ever swum before.
Keeping on the clock. I think he's going to do it, John. Oh, it's just a fraction out, 8:30.47. Well, he's taken almost 10 seconds. Joshua Robinson, virtually 20-second improvement, 8:33.73. What a cracking swim from that outside lane for the Derwent side swimmer, Nathan Chapman, also inside his time, 8:37.43.
Good finish from Will Shepherd, finishing fourth. Had a Kai Connolly, just tired slightly in the last part of the race. Zach Slater, Ben Kelly and Jacob Wood finishing. So heat number 3, lane 1 Jack Simpson, lane 2 Scott Fleming, lane 3 Cameron Travis, lane 4 Luke Hornsey, lane 5 Josh Denham, lane 6 Max Russell, lane 7 John Taylor and lane 8 Struan Bennett.
Just coming back to that last one, John, I think Ben McLaughlin was last year's Ian Prentice Memorial winner at the Open Water Awards last year. So no surprise to see him finishing strongly in that last 800. This is the makings of a very, very interesting contest. Scott Fleming and Luke Hornsey back in the pool, locking horns with one another again.
Cam Travis, more of a 400 metre swimmer normally, but 800 short course, well within his compass.
Scott and Luke's both 16-year-olds, so they potentially are the ones just to check on times for that junior trophy or the junior award for the 800. As we see, we have a 70-year-old in the next heat. So Cameron Travis 56.80, Josh Denham 57.74, Max Russell 58.21, and Scott Fleming, Luke Hornsey separated by about a quarter of a second, both under the minute. So that's lane 2, far side from where you are. The blue cap of South Lanarkshire's Scott Fleming, the black cap in lane 4, his Lothian swim team, Luke Hornsey. So there's a variety of races within races, as we often get.
Yeah, again it looks like, as you said before, a fascinating race. Cam Travis going out fairly quick, but Josh Denham not letting him get away. Next to him, Max Russell in lane 6, City of Sheffield swimmer.
Cameron's time 8:28.22 from the North Districts, where he finished second. (1:59.26), 1:59.63 for Josh Denham.
Third place for Max Russell. City Sheffield Swim in lane 6. Over in lane 4, Luke Hornsey. John Taylor in 7. Scott Fleming in 2.
About a second between Luke and Scott at the moment at this early stage. Certainly on the freestyle, Luke's had the measure just over Scott Fleming on the distance events. Often see Scott against another East Lothian swimmer, Stefan Kravitz. It's good to see that contest at that level. It's 16. Travis still going well, John.
Part of that crack East Lothian 4x2 junior team from the long course season as well, Robert. Broke the Scottish record, I think, club record. But Cam Travis looking comfortable. Extending his lead now. Over the Scottish senior team now, Cam. University of Aberdeen Performance Squad member.
It's opened up just over a second gap at the moment in lane 4 over lane 2, Scott Fleming.
Halfway mark for Cameron Travis, 4:03.08. So you'd think you'd be on for a time well inside his entry time. Probably in around 8:10, 8:15, somewhere in that 8:15 maybe at the minute.
Certainly in that range, John.
8:15.
It's well capable of getting inside 8:15.
He's pulling away. Second place for Josh Jenham.
30-44 split. It looks as though he's picking it up, if anything, John.
Yeah, fastest swimmer in the pool comfortably at the minute is Cameron, just extending his lead.
So keep this up, and 4:10 is well within his capabilities at this strong pace. Hornsey's now opened up a couple of second advantage, and at the moment just looks a little bit stronger than Scott Fleming. But Scott Fleming, very gutsy performer, will not give up that contest to finish as the top junior yet. And Travis 500, 5:04.
So 101.5 for that last 100.
Yeah.
So that 8:10 is realistic.
Yeah. Luke Hornsey looks as though he's gone third now, John.
Yeah, always Luke tends to come through in the second half of the race, always looks strong. He's moved ahead of Max Russell, the City of Sheffield swimmer. He's now got Josh Jenham in his sights, a Newcastle swimmer, currently in second. There's only be one winner of this heat, and it's going to be Cameron Travis in lane 3.
It's coming back to Luke's entry time, 8:22.8. He has the fastest entry time in this, and I think he's roughly on pace to be round about that time at the moment, maybe a little bit faster. He's a few seconds clear of Scott Fleming. I don't see Scott pulling that back now. This is all about Cameron Travis. 6:07 at 600. 7:09, inside 7:09 would give him every chance of getting inside 8:10, because you'd expect him to finish extremely strongly. This is the key bit, this penultimate 100, just to try and keep that rhythm going. Might just be a little bit beyond him now. 7:10.30.
Yeah, just starting to slow a little bit, feeling the effects of the first half of the race, but still a very good swim and well inside his entry time. Second place still is Josh Jenham, lane 5. Third place for Luke Cornsey in lane 3, ahead of Max Russell, Scott Fleming.
Well, let's see if Luke Cornsey can pick up something special over the final stages of the race.
Certainly closing in on Josh Jenham for second and third. I don't think he's going to catch him, but it's going to be Cam Travis who's going to win this one comfortably. 8:10.37.
Keep an eye on time for Luke Cornsey.
Yeah, second will be Josh Jenham, third will be Luke Cornsey.
Virtually banging his entry time, 8:22.45 for Luke.
Time to beat in the next heat for the junior. 8:10.37 is Cameron's time as top Scott to beat in the last heat of this afternoon.
Well, he's gone a fraction faster in that 800 Luke Hornsey than his entry time, 8:22.80 came in. As you say, John, that's the fastest Scottish based time for 17 and under so far.
With just Sean McCann to go in heat 4.
Here's an entry time of 8:18.44.
So our final heat of the afternoon, heat 4 of 5. Tom Sansom in lane 1, Loughborough University. Sean McCann, lane 2, City of Glasgow. Ruben Visder, City of Sheffield in 3. Lane 4, Jack Munsey, University of Stirling. Lane 5, Matthew Woodall, City of Sheffield. Lane 6, Michael Flynn, City of Glasgow. Lane 7, Arthur Logan, Edinburgh University. And lane 8, Adam Hall, Loughborough University.
I think we're just checking. I'm not sure if we have any Scots in the final, which is this evening. If that is the case, then I know that we have in this one Sean in lane 2, we have Jack Munsey in 4, we also have Michael Flynn in lane 6. I'm not certain about any of the other swimmers, whether they're Scottish based or not.
No, I think that's right. And Cameron Travis, 8:10.37 with a time to beat from the previous heat.
So Ruben Vista in lane 3, Jack Munsey in 4, almost together at the turn. In fact, Matthew Woodall in lane 5 in second, but there's about 5 in a line at this early stage, John.
Yeah, as you would expect. I think the first 100 is always a little bit helter-skelter. Things should now start to settle down. But 5 swimmers, 6 swimmers in the line across the pool. Matthew Woodall in 5. Michael Flynn 6, Jack Munsey 4, Ruben Visder in 3.
Matthew Woodall, this lead is going to change fairly regularly at the beginning of this race.
Which is exactly what we want, a nice close race for the final heat this afternoon of the 800.
Matthew Woodall just stretching, taking it up. Lane 6, Michael Flynn, and in 4, Jack Munsey, turning second and third. Jack runner up in this last year, John.
Yeah, runner up to Stephen Milne was won the 800 at the winter meet last year. Jack was second. But at the minute, Matthew Woodall looking very strong, City of Sheffield swimmer.
Michael Flynn was 5th in this last year.
Still Jack, Michael Flynn just edging through.
Don't discount him, he's certainly going to be a threat. Jack and Michael pretty close at the moment.
But the others are still within touching distance of him. He entered in an 8:04.
Sean McGann going well at this
Is it?
time.
Is
Lane
indeed.
2 in the juniors. So he's up with the pace.
He's turning at the 300.
Just got an eye on Sean's time at 300. Well, at 300, Sean McCann 3:00:48. That's actually a wee bit faster than the winner of our last race. So you would assume that if he keeps this pace going, he'll have no issues getting inside that 8:22:48.
No, and the 8:10 that Cam Travis put down in the previous heats, looking competitive at this stage as well. Michael Flynn going well, closest to that.
So Matthew has found his groove, 3:27:21 at that turn. Michael Flynn's trying to go with him. His entry time is an 8:15, so he's swimming well under that pacing at the moment. Jack Munsey's still in there.
At this stage, Jack Munsey at the moment just in third, ahead of Ruben Vista.
Just to
Michael Flynn in second.
this is the final for the Scottish champion in this race. It's going to be Michael or Jack.
3:57:14.
In the final heat.
It's a little bit faster than Cam Travis at the minute, so Michael Flynn looking good.
So this is
City Glasgow swimming, lane 6.
and a race against each other for.
So a smidgen under 2 seconds between the two Scots, Michael and Jack.
And at the moment it's Michael Flynn who's really taking this one on, and he's trying to keep up with Matthew Jones at 4:27 now, so 3 seconds.
So the gap between Michael and Jack over 2 seconds.
Now nearly 2.5 seconds up on Jack Munsey, so Jack's going to have to make a move.
Oh, Matthew Woodall going very nicely indeed.
Negative split this race last
Michael
year.
Flynn
Jack Munsey, so we'll see whether he's got
is over 2 seconds advantage at the moment, John, over Jack Munsey.
Matthew Woodall looking very strong at the front. City Sheffield, lane 5, 8:04:30 his entry time, so he's underneath that at the minute. Michael Strong, 50:500.73 at the 500 mark.
Well, 2.75 of a gap with 300 metres to go. So Jack Munsey, if he wants to challenge to be potentially top senior Scot, needs to find about a second on every final 100 that we've got.
Sean McGann coming through in lane 2 as well.
Yeah.
This looks like he's going to be the top junior.
Well, the gap is pretty similar between Jack and Michael. Michael still looks pretty strong, John.
Yeah, I think Michael's going to be looking at that time of 8:10:37 of Cam Travis in the previous heat. I think he's going to be well under that. It's looking good for him at the minute. He's pulling away.
Sean McCann having a cracking race in lane 2. It's a great race for third place. Sean McCann has now gone third ahead of Jack Munsey, Ruben Vista and Tom Sampson. Matthew Woodall with 150 to go as this wrapped up.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Flynn's going to be the Scottish champion and Sean McCann's going to be the Scottish junior champion. It's going to be very difficult for those positions to change, I think, with 150 metres to go.
Well, they're well stretched out now. Sean McCann, the second half of the race has really picked up significantly and he's just beginning to pull away in third place. So 100 to go. Matthew Woodall, it's comfortable to get under 8 minutes here.
He's got to keep an eye on the clock because the Cam Travis time 8:10:37. They're well under it, but just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Michael's about 5 seconds or so further back. Michael's likely to come in somewhere around about 8:03. Matthew very much on his entry time. Might come inside that 5:57:93. I'm sure he'll be inside that, John.
Yeah, and a great swim from Sean McCann in lane 2. He used to swim in Leicester, I think, before he came up to Glasgow. And he's in third place now and looking on course for that Scottish Junior Championship.
He's fourth in the British Summer Championships age group, but it's going to be Matthew Whittle here.
Well, inside the final 10, let's keep you round the clock. It's a personal best for Matthew Whittle.
7:57.02 for Matthew. Michael in second place, 8:03.09. He will be the Scottish national champion. Third place Sean McCann, 8:07.88, and I think he will be the Scottish national junior champion.
Indeed. And the rest of the field all swam pretty well. Very competitive race that, especially for third right down to seventh place. Not much between them. Well done to Matthew Whittle on taking that, and congratulations Michael Flynn, who we will find out for definite later on. He should be the Scottish national champion, and the junior champion, as John said, Sean McCann.
So our last event of the afternoon is the women's 800 free. We will have 4 heats of this. Fastest heat again swam tonight in the final session. In heat 1, lane 1, we have Maria Howe from the University of Aberdeen Performance Squad. Lane 2, Gwendolyn Mearns from Tynedale. Lane 3, Abby Davis, East Lothian. Lane 4, Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Georgia Dickey from Dumfries. Lane 6, Catherine Boddy from Geary. Lane 7, Elizabeth Land, Newcastle. And Lane 8, Victoria Niven, City of Glasgow.
Well, a little problem with noise at the start. Our referee just asking, or our starter asking swimmers just to stand down. And we'll get them underway in just a wee moment. So again, if we come back to the final heat this evening, just looking at the names, it looks again like no Scots taking part in the final heat. So that might mean that we've got Natasha Simpson, Mary Craig and Amy Shields potentially in that one.
I think Laura Hodgson, she's Scottish as well.
Laura Hodgson, I'm not sure.
I think she is.
If she is, she may well be.
I think she's a Scot.
So it looks like just a little glitch again with the electronics. Girls have actually got their tops back on, John, which suggests there might be a little delay in this one. So if you're with us on the live stream, just dash away, maybe stick the kettle on and get back in the next minute or so. We have 4 heats, so you'll certainly have plenty of time to come back and enjoy the action. A good opportunity for all of these younger swimmers to get opportunity to do an 800 at a national event, which we've certainly been lacking the last couple of years. Not many have had the opportunity to do this. Also good to see some of the English-based swimmers coming up. Gives a different complexion on things. Also get a lot of, as John said, we've got a lot of swimmers from the northeast of England that come up every year to our short course championships. And, most welcome. We bring a lot of youngsters to compete against our lot.
I'd say there'd be a big gap from a Scottish swimming perspective at the top end in the distance events. Hence no Scots in either of the fastest 2 heats. But plenty of opportunity for the younger swimmers to come through.
And this Mary Craig, the only swimmer in our our last heat this afternoon, who has an entry time under 9 minutes. And that's like, John, I'd say 9 minutes is a good marker for any of these girls to try and get to.
looks like we are just about ready to go. Our final event of the afternoon, event 132, the women's 800 metre freestyle. 4 heats this afternoon and the fastest heat tonight in our final session.
Getting some of these girls maybe having their second or third swim this afternoon, John. So entry times in this one. Fastest swimmer is on a 9:25 through to 9:37. So we kick off in lane 1. Maria Howe from University of Aberdeen Performance. 2 Gwendolyn Mearns from Tynedale. 3 Abby Davis, East Lothian Swim Team. 4 Caris Mooney, City Glasgow. 5 Georgia Dickey, Dumfries. 6 is Catherine Bodie from Geary. 7 Elizabeth Land, Newcastle Swim Team. And in 8 Victoria Niven, City Glasgow Swim Team. Oldest swimmer in this one, 18-year-old Catherine Bodie and 19-year-old Abby Davis, the 2 oldest girls in this one. Youngest swimmer, Newcastle's Elizabeth Land in lane 7. She's so coming down after the first 100. Already very strong start from Caris Mooney, who we saw earlier on swimming very well. 105.05, already a couple of seconds clear of our teammate Victoria Niven in lane number 8. Georgia Dickey in third, John.
Yeah, third place for Dumfries swimmer Georgia. But already Caris, who has just had the fastest entry time, starting to pull away. So we've seen much closer events in the boys. All the heats were relatively close. But Caris has certainly put a marker down in the early part of this race. Teammate Victoria Niven in second place. Dumfries is Georgia Dickey in third, ahead of Geary's Catherine Bodie. Caris Mooney, well over a second per 50 metres faster than anybody else at this stage of the race. Hence already she's built a lead of about 4 body lengths.
She was looking at 400 IM, John, so not really surprised about this. She looked very strong in the final section, the freestyle.
35.3, so a second faster than Victoria down that 50. Close between her and Georgia Dickey in lane 5. In lane 6, Catherine Bodie. In lane 2, Gwendolyn Mearns.
I'll certainly give her a pace sub 9:20 in this one, John. Quite comfortably inside 9:20. Pacing down round about 72 seconds. Georgia Dickey coming through nicely into second.
So Caris about 1:11 for that last 100, 3:26.21. .112 for Georgia Dickey in second place. Victoria Niven now starting to make a move in lane 8.
Gwendolyn Mearns over in lane 2. Maybe beginning to challenge Victoria for that third place, with Catherine Bodie still there. Caris about half a second faster for each 50 than Georgia.
Slowed down a little bit down this last 100, Caris, but still looking strong, still pulling away.
Okay, for about 4:38 here at the halfway mark. 4:38.07.
So just under 112 for that 100. So she's just slowing slightly, but still quick. Georgia Dickey closing very slightly, but only very slightly down that 100. Abby Davis coming through, a little bit in lane 3 now in the second half of the race. She's looking fairly a bit quicker than she was in the first half.
Cara's pacing maybe just pretty close to her entry time now, John. You say she's dropped back that pace just a little bit. Hopefully she'll pick it up in the second half.
Yeah, she's still not under any kind of threat in terms of a lead. She has picked it up slightly there, 35-36, so she must be listening to us, Robert, because she's certainly started to push a little bit harder down that 50.
So there's every chance, John, she's been asked to go out slowly and build it, and maybe try and do a negative split.
She certainly picked up the pace. That was a 111 that last 100. But she is now starting to get quicker. Second place still Georgia Dickey. Third place is now Gwendolyn Mearns in lane 2. Catherine Boddy in 6. Victoria Niven just dropping back a little bit in lane 5.
Well, pretty steady, 36 for that last 50.
Just slowing ever so slightly again.
Gap 6 seconds or so. Gwendolyn Mearns over in lane 2, going pretty steadily. Another youngster, 14-year-old from Tyneside.
This time coming up to the 600 metre mark will be Caris, 7:01.06. So she's just drifted back to a 112 for that last 100. So she's got a 111, 112, 111, 112. Second place for Georgia, third place still Gwendolyn. Head of gear is Catherine Boddy in fourth.
Cara's pacing just a wee bit inside that 9.25, John. I think she'll be a couple of seconds, maybe 3 seconds at best, inside that time. Just under 36 again for that last 50. Georgia Dickey beginning to pick up the pace as well, sub 36.
Catherine Boddy closing slightly on Gwendolyn Mearns. Maybe Catherine Boddy's got a chance of third place here. She's picked up the pace now, and maybe she will be shortly moving into a really close battle for third and fourth with Gwendolyn Mearns. Abby Davis not out of it in lane 3 either. She's picked up the pace in the second half of the race. 111.8 for Caris down that last 100. So 100 metres to go for her. So she is going to be a little bit inside her entry time, I think, around at about, hopefully about 9:22, 9:23, depending what she's got left.
Georgia Dickey also getting to work with the legs going like the clappers down the final 100 metres. And Caris Mooney, can she find a sub 35 to come back? Catherine Boddy just a fraction ahead in third place, nothing between the two. Gwendolyn, I think, may have gone back into third, but coming down to the stretch. Very strong finish. Yeah. 9:22.13. She'll be pleased with that. Improves by 3 seconds. Georgia Dickey, nice steady swim from her. 9:30.65. And who's going to get third? Catherine Boddy, just. I think it was Catherine Bodie, John.
I think it was. I think
Yeah,
you're absolutely
maybe
right.
9:36.72 by exactly half a second. Good swim though from Gwendolyn. 9:37.22. Again, a little bit over her entry time, but nevertheless, it's practice. It's getting the opportunity to do these and do them regularly. And if you get the chance to do it, then eventually the times hopefully drop. Doesn't happen every single time, but a cracking swim from Caris. 9:22.13.
She sets the standard for heat number 2, in which we have in lane 1 Evelyn Helissi from Newcastle. In lane 2 Alice Forrest from Derwentside. Lane 3 Susie McNair from Stirling Swim. Lane 4 Phoebe Arbuckle from Warren de Baths. Lane 5 Nicole Quiller from Mount Kelly. Lane 6 Stella McCarty, City of Glasgow. Lane 7 Cara Gordon, Stirling Swim. And lane 8 Constance Logan, Mount Kelly.
So into the second heat, Evelyn Helissi from Newcastle 1, Alice Forrest from Derwentside.
Entry times here range from 9:17.8 Phoebe Arbuckle through to 9:24.05. 9:24.32 Constance Logan.
Stella McCarty, City of Glasgow in 6.
We were talking earlier about swimmers in our fourth heat. One swimmer being under 9 minutes on entry times. We have a swimmer in this one, Phoebe Arbuckle, 9:17.80. Who's at the moment sitting in fourth place. Apparently at the East Districts, 8:58.96. That was a couple of weeks ago, John. So can she pull that one out the bag today?
At the minute, it's the two youngsters from Mount Kelly, Nicole Quiller in 5, Constance Logan in 8, leading the way. Nicole 15, Constance 14. Phoebe looking comfortable in lane 4. No rush at this stage of the race. She's now moved up into second place, splitting the two Mount Kelly swimmers.
It's the field just getting into their rhythm. At this stage, Phoebe Arbuckle just gone out steadily, and we'll see if she can start building on this, John. She's at the front now, 33.52 for that last 50.
About a second faster than anybody else in the field up that 50, so no surprise to see her ease to the front and start to pull away from the rest of the field.
Watch out for Susie McNair as well though, John. She'll come through strongly in the second half. She's gone third. Now over at Stirling is Susie.
So I'll see if she can keep this up, having had a spurt from Constance and Nicole in those first hundreds. It's now Phoebe, 2:11.57.
Member of the junior squad, so
67 points, 67.9.
very good all-rounder, Susie McNair.
Yeah, 108 for Phoebe, down that second 100. Second place Nicole Quiller in lane 5. Third place for Susie McNair in 3. Alice Forrest in lane 2 in 4th place, the youngster from Derwentside. There are Newcastle's Evelyn Helissi in lane 1, the two 13-year-olds in this heat.
Phoebe only 14. Nicole Quiller turning in second. 15-year-old from Mount Kelly, another 15-year-old in lane 3, Susie McNair.
300 at the next start end.
Well, this looks good, John. Phoebe going out nice and steadily and beginning to build up a nice lead.
She's starting to really pull away, and we're still only going down the third 100. I don't think it'll long before Susie's in second place.
Well, she was. Susie McNair was roughly about 4 seconds back. She's the best part of 6 seconds back and threatening for that second place.
Yeah, 108 again for Phoebe, so that's two 108s back to back, blown the field apart in the early parts of this 800 metres.
So she's certainly on for getting pretty close to 9 minutes here. Very close now for second. Gold colour 3:59.98 has just under a second ahead. Susie McNair, Alice Forrest pretty close behind.
Yeah, Alice 34.95, second fastest after Phoebe there on that last 50, so she's starting to close in on Phoebe and Nicole.
Susie McNair now gone second. So at 400, 4:28.26.
So 108.4. So again, very metronomic is Phoebe, swimming a very steady, very competent 800 here.
Well, we've got 7 or so seconds between her and Susie McNair. We'll be interested to see if Susie McNair can, not saying close, but just maintain that gap in the second half of the race, where she should find things a wee bit stronger in the latter stages.
Yeah. Although Alice Forrest in lane 2 is starting to close in on Susie, so that might be the battle for second and third.
Yeah, just over half a second between those two.
And Susie's just extended the gap a little bit down that 50.
But it's Phoebe who's really stretched this field. And she's now got a good 10 metres up on the rest of them. It's really Phoebe against the clock. See how far up the rankings she can go for this event.
5:36.96. Well, 108.5 roughly, John.
Yeah, 108.7. So again, really good pacing from Phoebe. Not showing any sign of slowing down. If she can pick it up a little bit down the last 100, she's going to be under that 9-minute mark.
Still pulling away from the other two swimmers. Susie McNair, I think, sees the challenge from Alice Forrest and gets to work here. Also going very nicely in lane 7, Cara Gordon. Again, I come back to open water. John, another swimmer that did a lot of open water in the ladies section and performed very well. She was the West District Senior Champion way back at the end of August at Loch Venacher.
Yeah, and the battle's on for second, third and fourth now, I think. The two Mount Kelly swimmers have dropped back a little bit. Looks like a battle for second and third between Alice Forrest and Susie McNair.
Susie McNair certainly hasn't shaken off Alice Forrest. She got second wind, I thought, but Alice is sticking with her. So 6:45.78.
Another 108.8 for Phoebe. So again.
So we're in the, I suspect something like a 9:02, 9:01, 9:02, John.
Race on for second. Alice Forrest in lane 2, the very young Derwent side swimmer, only 13. Susie McNair, Sterling Swim, 15 in lane 3. Susie's picked it up a little bit, I think, breathing away from, breathing every 3, so she is seeing the swimmer on her inside.
Phoebe 6th at the British Championships in the summer. Susie McNair in the 15-year-old age group was 5th in the similar event at British. So Cara Gordon still in 4th place. Still McCarthy 5th. Phoebe with 100 to go. 7:54.99. I'll call it 7:55.
It's about a 109, so just slightly slower.
Yeah.
Not surprising, but she's working really hard. Needs to swim the last 100 in 105 to get under that 9-minute mark. She does look like she's picking it up.
Yeah, I fancy something around about 9:01.5, 9:02, John.
Yeah, Susie McNair's seen the threat of Alice Forrest in lane 2 and started to really work hard to try and increase that gap, and she's just pulled maybe a body length ahead of Alice. 4th place still is Cara Gordon in lane 7. Although Stella McCarty's starting to close in on her.
Susie McNair 9:19. She'll probably come in somewhere round about the 9:13 mark. It's all about Phoebe Arbuckle here, John.
Yeah, been a great swim right from the off. maybe not as quick as she did last week or the week before, but again she's backed it up with a very, very fine 9:03.21. I should be delighted with that. Susie McNair's going to get second. Third place will be Alice Forrest, close for fourth and fifth, but it's going to be Cara Gordon ahead of Stella McCarty. Very close for the last three places. Two Mount Kelly swimmers, and Evelyn Halessian one.
Oh, good swim from Susie McNair, taking about 6 seconds off her time. Cara Gordon a couple of seconds, and although Stella McCarty was a second or so over a week or so back, she'd pulled out of some West District events. Was a bit under the weather, so good to see her here today competing and virtually getting on her entry time.
Heat 3, Chloe Cook, City of Sheffield goes in 1. Emily Headley, Newcastle in 2. Isla Jones, City of Sheffield in 3. Kaylin Hall, University of Aberdeen Performance Squad goes in 4. Lauren Bradley Holt, University of Stirling in 5. Kate Noble, Newcastle in 6. Tegan Black, East Lothian in 7. And Catherine Renfrew, Perth City in 8.
Looking forward to see Tegan Black performing against her from East Lothian in lane 7. We don't have a lane 5, John. We also have an empty lane in lane 8. So no Catherine Renfrew, sadly, taking part in this one, a Perth City swimmer. You'll be disappointed in that one, John.
She's not doing very well, so she's been poorly, so I'm not surprised to see her not swim. I hear she's got some kind of, I think it might be a viral infection. So she did swim earlier in the 100, but I think the 800 would have been a step too far. She was in good form at the club championships a couple of weeks ago. Broke a couple of Camilla Hattersley's records after all these years. So
interested to see how Kaylin Hall goes. A few years back, very, very good at distance freestyle and breaststroke. Not had the greatest performance the last couple of years. Maybe just finding being out of the pool last year or so with COVID restrictions has found it tough to get back to that high standard. Fingers crossed she has a good swim today. Always been very proficient at the distance events, Kaylin.
It's Tegan Black taking this one out, 1:04.55, but very closely matched. The swimmers down the first 100. Second place Isla Jones, third place was Emily Headley, ahead of Chloe Cook.
Tegan about just over half a second advantage. Three girls on the other side, tightly bunched. "15-year-old in lanes 1 and 3, 16-year-old in lane 2. Let's see, Tegan Black, also 15. She's got an entry time of 9:14.90.
Early days, but at the minute Phoebe Arbacle's time in the previous heat is looking very quick compared to this heat. It is early days, but already there's a 3-second gap between Phoebe, who didn't slow down at all throughout the race, and this heat. So at this minute we're going to be well over 9 minutes unless they pick the pace up.
Yeah, I think she was pacing Tegan pretty similar to around about where, say, Susie McNair was. So much on her entry time, 9:14. Now Emily Headley, the 16-year-old in lane 2. It's at the front by quite a margin.
Starting to pull away.
On a good second clear. Emily Jones in lane 3. All very close now for third place. Three girls pretty close. Kaylin Hall still well there in lane 4. Let's keep our fingers crossed that she can stick with them. (3:22.97) for Emily.
It's about 3 seconds slower than the previous heat for the Newcastle swimmer in lane 2. But comfortably the quickest in the pool at the minute, lapping at about 1:08.
Oh, a little bit slower than Phoebe Arbuckle, but we'll keep an eye on this 100. Wouldn't surprise me if she's somewhere around about 4:30.5 at halfway. 3:57.24, 34.5. Well, needs to just try and pick the pace up just a fraction if she can. Give her a chance of getting close to that 9-minute mark.
Yeah, Emily Headley's entry time, to be fair, 9:13.18, so she's probably on about that at the minute, and she's pulling away from the rest of the field at 4:31.62. Probably looking at around that entry time of 9:10, 9:12, 9:13. There doesn't seem to be anything coming from behind in terms of people picking up the pace. If anything, Emily's just drawing further and further away.
Swimmers over on the far side. Chloe Cook well clear in third, and the other 3 swimmers all pretty well together for 4th place. Kaylin Hall maybe just beginning to get to grips and coming in, turning in 4th now. Emily 34.34 for that last 50.
Still the quickest out of the pool, so extending that margin. Isla Jones in 2nd place. City of Sheffield youngster 15. 9:08.84's Isla's entry time, so she's probably just outside that at the minute. Out of all the swimmers, I think there's only Emily inside their entry time, and they're certainly well down on the previous heat. 5:40.43.
Yeah, it's about 3.5 seconds off that pace Phoebe did, so certainly pacing a little bit inside 9:10. Emily Jones, Chloe Cook. Looks like Tegan Black's now back into 4th place ahead of Kaylin Hall. Pretty steady.
46
sort of
for Emily, 34.55 for Isla, so extended the lead slightly, but she's not coming under any pressure.
I expect the split round about the 6:50 mark. Pacing round about 1:09, John.
I think she's going to be about 9:10 at the end. I don't see her getting anywhere near Phoebe Arbuckle's time from the previous heat as we go at the minute. 6:49.26.
Just needs to try and pick it up. I think a finish time maybe around about 9:08. Well, within her capabilities now, maybe 9:06. She can really have a strong finish. Tegan Black outgone clear in 4th. Kaylin Hall and Katie Noble. Well, again, the pace just dropped a wee bit there, John. 34.61. It's about, I'm not saying it's up and down, it's still in that sort of mid 34.5 seconds range. Emily Jones clear in 2nd. Chloe Cook in 3rd. Can Tegan Black make a late charge and try and get 3rd place?
So 100 metres to go, 7:58.84. So of course for a time around 9:07, 9:08 for Newcastle's Emily Headley, leading from City of Sheffield's Isla Jones in 2nd place, Chloe Cook in 3rd. Chloe closing slightly on Isla, but still a long way for her to go to get that back. Maybe the gap at the battle is between the two Sheffield swimmers for first and second. Second and third, should I say, because no one's going to get near Emily Headley. 50 metres to go. You can hear the bell for Isla Jones in lane 3, Chloe Cook in lane 1. But meanwhile, Emily Headley turns at the top of the pool. Got about 15 metres to go now. She picks up the pace slightly. She's going to come under the flags and she's going to touch in a time of 9:06.20. So picked up a little bit in the second half of the race. Comfortably wins this heat. Second place will be Isla Jones in lane 3. Third place will be Chloe Cook in lane 2. We'll need to confirm that after the touch. Fourth place Tegan Black. Ahead of Kaylin Hall, Katie Noble.
Yeah.
There's a confirmation. Emily Headley, Isla Jones, Chloe Cook in third. One heat to go. It's still Phoebe Arbacle's time, 9:03.21 from heat 2, which is leading the way.
So we don't have lane 2 Natasha Simpson going in this one. So the reserve Lexine McCappin is slotted in for that one. And we have empty lanes in lane number 4. So in 1, Mia Sleven in lane 1 from Loughborough University. 2 is the reserve Lexine McCappin from first. 3 is Sophie Main, Edinburgh University, empty lane in 4. 5, Lizzie Jupson, Loughborough University. 6 is Mary Craig, Edinburgh University. 7, Georgia Robertson, City of Sheffield. And 8, Amy Shields, City of Glasgow. So the times in this one range from 8:53 through to 9:01 for most of the swimmers. Lexi McCappin has an entry time of 9:37.44 in lane 2. So she should be a little bit further behind the rest. And Maya Slevin, after a strong start, 1:02.35. That's what we need, John, if we want to be challenging that 4-minute mark. Good strong start and steady pace throughout.
The 9-minute mark, I think.
The 9-minute mark, my apologies, yes.
Second place Georgia Robertson. City Sheffield swimming lane 7. Sophie Main third in 3. Lizzie Jobson in 5. Mary Craig in 6. Amy Shields in 8. We've also got to sort out what we think will be a Scottish champion and a Scottish junior champion, both of which at the minute are Phoebe Arbuckle as we stand.
Yeah, there's a case. Mary Craig and Amy Shields, as well as Lexine McCappin, the 3 Scots in this one.
So Lexine the only junior, isn't she?
Lexine is the only junior, but as I mentioned, she's got an entry time of 9:37, and understandably she's well behind the rest of the swimmers at the 200 mark. So I think it's really between Mary and Amy, who are 5th and 6th, behind the 4 English girls. Mary in lane 6, Amy in lane 8. But they've got to better the 9:03.21 from Phoebe Arbuckle to finish as the top Scot in the senior category.
Yeah, and barring anything, we're pretty sure that Phoebe's going to be our junior champion.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's another lane 1 swimmer, Robert, Mia Slevin, Loughborough University. She's going to take some catching already. She's pulling away from this field. 32.86 for the last 50, and pulling further and further away.
So here's Maya coming into the 300, 3:13.89.
Pacing just a little under
105.6 for that last 100.
Very close.
Under 9 minutes at the minute.
Yeah, very close for second at the moment. Oh, pretty close indeed. Mary Craig going much the better of the two slightly older Scots at 18 and 17. Mary 18 and Amy Shields 17. So Mary Craig 352.99 at 350. We'll just check what Mary's time is at the halfway mark.
And that's where Mia Slevin's about to turn. 4:20.14. Phoebe was 4:28.26.
Yeah, Mary Craig's just inside that at the moment, 4:26.63.
Second and a half inside it, but it's close.
Always been pretty good at the distance events, Mary Craig.
400 stage, so we'll keep an eye on that virtual Scottish race going on between Mary in 6 and Phoebe.
Mia Slevin is still quickest in the field. Izzy Jobson coming through into second now in lane 5. Loughborough University teammate of Mia. 32.97, that was 50 for her. Mary Craig now in third, ahead of Sophie Main, Georgia Robertson, Amy Shields.
Mary Craig 8:57.19, where she finished 6th at the Buck Short Course. Just about a month or so back, which is just about a second and a half or so faster than her entry time, 8:58.80. At the Scottish National Age Groups back in April.
So Maria's running away slightly from Phoebe, in second lead now, so she can keep this up.
So Mia Slevin still comfortably ahead. 32.82 down that 50 for Mia. Teammate Izzy Jobson. 33.05 for her in second place. The 550 metre mark.
Mary Craig going well on third, 6:07. So look for maybe something like a 6:41-ish at 600, which would keep her comfortably a good 4 seconds ahead. Mary Craig probably pacing maybe a little bit, just fractionally inside 9 metres here, John.
Yep. 6:31.84 for Mia. Second place Rizzy. 6:41.42 for Mary. So she's still 4 seconds quicker than Phoebe at the same point. So it looks like she's going to be our Scottish national champion this year.
Very much on for getting close, or maybe inside that 8:57.19. If she can keep that pace going, Mary. Mia Slevin going extremely well.
She looks to be on around about 8:40, I think, with about 150 to go. Second place still Izzy Jobson. Sophie Main gone past Mary into third place.
Keep this up. She's going to get close to that 8:40. Turn to 100 to go. 7:37.18.
So 100 metres, 7:37.18.
So probably just outside the 8:40 as things stand at the minute for Mia.
Yeah.
Mary turns in 7:49.02, so she's got 6 seconds in hand of Phoebe. So it looks like our junior champion will be Phoebe Arbuckle and our senior champion will be Edinburgh University's Mary Craig.
Sophie Main picking up the pace, going third, just ahead of Mary Craig. Mary Craig 7:49.
So with the bell for
I think she's going to be comfortably inside 8:57, maybe 8:55 and a half.
It's a race between the Edinburgh Uni swimmers, Sophie Main.
Yes, 11
For that third place.
down the last 25, John.
Yeah, look at the clock. She's going to be probably 8:42, 8:43, I'm thinking. It's been a great swim from the Loughborough University swimmer. Another win for lane 1. She's just outside the 8:40. What a great finish. 8:40.05. So she really put the accelerator down that last 50. And that's the target for tonight. 8:40.05 for Mia. Second place is Jobson. 8:50.93. Third place Sophie Main. Fourth place for Mary Craig. 8:54.36. And that will be subject to confirmation. A Scottish National Championship for Mary Craig and a Junior Championship for Phoebe Arbuckle.
Yeah, good swim from Mary. Proved on her entry time and another PB. So she just keeps taking a few seconds off her time, Mary Craig, plugging away year after year. Ex-Stirling swimmer. Amy Shields finishing 6th place, 9:06.55. She's back from a bit of injury and everything, so just a few seconds over entry time, John. That's a good swim from Amy.
Yeah, and the reserve Lexi McCappin from first. Good to see her finish inside her entry time as well.
Indeed.
So she had a nice 1 second PB. And that's the confirmation of the results. Mia Slevin in first place, Izzy Jobson in second, Sophie Main in third. Subject to confirmation, Scottish National Champion will be Mary Craig, Scottish National Junior Champion will be Phoebe Arbuckle.
Just a reminder,
So that concludes session 2, John. Thanks very much everyone joining us on the live stream from John Munchday and myself, Robert Taylor. That concludes session 2. We're back here, I think, just before 5:30. Please join us. Coverage starts, as you can see, 17:25 for the finals. Lots to look forward to this evening. So bye-bye from John and I.
Good evening, see you later.